Yo, yo.
Rolling on the cameras.
Check, check. Check, check, check. Hey, check, 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 check.
Thank you for your help, brother. Shit makes a big difference, especially in Exsr's life.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Fucking, I just fucking switched and made a noise.
Your eye twitched and
Did
made
that
a
with
noise?
that?
Yeah,
That
when-
noise? Oh,
Sick.
yeah.
All right. Well, this is the 40-hour podcast. My name is Gadzooks. With me are my co-hosts, Provoked and Exsr.
Hey.
We appreciate you motherfuckers being here. While you're here, if you do us a favor and subscribe to this podcast on whichever podcast platform you're currently listening to us on, and whichever other one you prefer at that would be super tight. If you'd like to go the extra mile and leave some feedback and a good rating on iTunes, that would help us in the charts and the rankings and all that shit, make us more discoverable and whatnot. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel. What's the YouTube channel, Exsr?
YouTube.Playmkrs. What is it?
www.youtube.c/Playmkrs.
YouTube.c/Playmkrs.
Just type in 40
fucking
hour podcast
just
on the
Google
search
it
bar.
and then subscribe to the
Yeah.
channel. That would be dope if you follow each of us on social media. Self-Provoke 818 at st.exsr for Exsr, and then mine is GVDZOOKS. And that's the intro. Let's drink these motherfucking beers.
Why do you have Saint in front of your name?
Because I like St. John.
Oh, I forgot you do. I like him
Love
too.
that motherfucker, dog.
He's up. I fuck with him.
Cheers.
All right, cheers,
Cheers.
kids.
Cheers. Cheers.
How about Saint Nick? You like Saint Nick?
St. Nicholas.
Saint Nick.
That's Santa Claus, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Have
That's
you guys?
just sperm. That's sperm.
It's sperm?
Yeah,
It is?
sperm. North Pole. Down the chimney.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I follow
Claus-
none
claustrum?
of that, but I'd love to understand.
Yeah, it's it's an allegory for semen retention, which I'm actually the reason I'm bringing it. I'm practicing it again.
As you
Edging?
speak.
Yeah,
How long's it been?
only 3 days. I just started it again.
Shit, don't say only. Don't downplay it, baby.
Yeah, no, but yeah, only 3 days, and so I've been like kind of just reading a lot of shit just to keep me motivated.
Yeah.
You know,
Just so you have
I
more
still
energy?
yeah. Well, today I'm exhausted, but today I did a lot though. I painted furniture. I fucking
Damn.
ride bikes. I fucking
Hell yeah.
like been doing all this shit
Good
right
for
now.
you. I'm a big bike rider. I love
Nice.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said okay. So you first of all, do you have a goal like an end date in sights?
I want to eventually just be able to have like just do it like continuously for a very long time. Like not even a goal, like just make it like a thing because it still feels good. You know, you
Sure.
don't get that release, but you still feel good.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
And a lot of like shit I've been reading reinforces.
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
So like, there's stuff to read out there that's specifically geared toward this.
Oh
No shit. Can you name one? Like a book? Is it a book or just like?
well, there's a
material?
lot of books in either like Taoism or Tantra, like
Oh,
shit like
okay. I
that.
got you.
But I'm kind of going more about it with the whole like esoteric discipline thing. Like, you know how we all fucking. I think we talked about this maybe in the beginning about how like when you bust a nut, you're straight. How you feel after.
Yeah.
You feel that for a reason because you're releasing all these nutrients, minerals, and like your testosterone, like you know. So like, imagine having high testosterone levels, what that'll do for you, and having all those nutrients remaining. And after a week of it sitting there, supposedly, it reabsorbs into your body, you know. So, and I've noticed it just from doing it. I remember one time I did it a couple years ago. I was doing it, and I had sex with some girl. Was it less than a couple years ago? And I was having sex with some girl, and it was like, you know, when it's like really good sex, you're about to bust a fat nut if you you finish.
Yeah.
But I didn't because I was doing that shit, and I remember I had like a little panic attack. A little panic attack. Let me tell you. I had a little panic attack while almost getting there and then not letting myself finish. So after I was like, I stopped and I felt shaky, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
yo, so I felt that feeling of but I felt it for like 5 minutes. Like, and then that
Oh,
feeling was
shit.
freaking me out. And I was like, yo, like,
You're about
okay,
to
I want
right?
to stop feeling this, you
Yeah,
know, like,
I
because
got
I'm
you.
not nutting already. Like, my
Damn.
dick is still hard, and I just feel this fucking, like, yo, I need him. Like, if I don't nut, I feel like I'm having a fucking heart attack right now or something, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like a weird experience, but
Did you?
no, I didn't nut.
You just held
Oh, yeah, I held it. Like, yeah, I was trying to play it off to the girl, so I was, like, on my phone, like, walking around, pacing, acting like I was stressing on something about my phone, but I was just stressing my anxiety because I felt weird. But, like, that was, like, and it happened to me a few more times while I was doing it. But after, like, you just have an energy and you just have a fucking, like, this is weird, bro. It's like a kind of a clarity, a mental clarity in a sense, because you fuck differently, too. Like, when I was having sex during, not this, like, it's just different. It's a different end game, you know, instead of a nut, because you're not gonna nut. So it's a different end game, and it's kind of like you learn about your fucking orgasm more, and you learn how to. It's interesting, and I'm not even like tapping into the real reasons why I'm doing it, but like, it's interesting shit.
Yeah.
If not past the no fap, because everyone's like, oh, no fap, but it's like, bro, if you get deeper into the reasons why a lot of fucking
Isn't no fap, my bad? Isn't no fap like
no
for-
jacking
No
off,
jerking off.
But isn't that like specifically for people that are addicted to porn?
No.
Like I think that's like it's not for like willpower. It's more like
well, the no fap, like the little no fap community is all about like, yo, you feel more energetic, you feel women are more attracted to you. So it's very like shallow, like the reason they do it for. But like a lot of like ancient practices or disciplines have been like there's a reason why priests don't like the Pope is not supposed to, or the fucking a Catholic priest is not supposed to like emit those oils, you know, like the oils that the sacred oils on the head. You
That
know,
makes
so
sense.
you know, and then there's a lot the white boxers. They're like, hey, you're about to have a fight. Don't fucking bust a nut 1 month prior to your fight.
I've heard that one for sure.
It's everywhere, intellectual, and every field. There's always been like some shit like, yo, don't release your life force. Because think about it, like some people say, yo, this life force could either be used to elongate life, your own, or create life, and everything else is like, well, this is the extreme side of the spectrum. It's like everything else is just a waste, you know. And a lot of it's starting to make sense to me the more I'm like, because I told you it was a few years ago when I was into this, and now the more I'm getting into more other shit, it's just like, yo, that kind of correlates and fits into the practice.
I was told, I heard somewhere where it was like it's kind of like your essence and shit you're giving out, you know, like especially if you're just fucking jacking off, you know, so like that's like that's, you're giving yourself out and shit like that, you know. So
to counter that, I've actually heard, and I've not practiced either of these obviously, but like I've also heard the opposite, not from like reputable sources or whatever, but people have said like before you make any big decisions in life, you should bust a nut, because like how much of that is like driven by just your desire for pussy or whatever you prefer. You know what I'm saying? I get that too. That seems like a more short term goal. You know what I mean? Where, where you're talking
when you're
like
building
more
something.
long
And
term.
then and also like once you kind of like start learning how to like refrain from like impulses, like in what a great one is fucking an orgasm.
Yeah.
Once you start refraining from that, you start kind of like thinking differently as well. So it's not like you would think something impulsively. If you're able to withhold your impulses, then you would be able to carry that onto other compartments within life.
Right,
you know?
right. It bleeds over in other aspects of your life.
Yeah. So there's a lot
I
of
can see that.
Yeah, but it takes a while. Like I think it takes like 7 days for your testosterone to like elevate. I won't give you a number or whatever or a metric or anything, but it takes like a week for your testosterone to get at a level of like, okay, I notice I feel different. Because before when I was doing it, I thought it was placebo. I started like kind of like started like, yo, is this shit placebo or am I like actually like feeling? But at that time frame when I started doing it, I was at a nap taking time. You know, I was taking hella naps every day, and then when I started like not busting nuts, I ended up noticing like my nap time would come way later in the day. But like, I'm tired now around 6 instead of like 2. You know, so I started noticing little things, and I started noticing too like. And this wasn't placebo, like it was just like I was more social, or I was like more interested in like having conversations or starting conversations with people. Like I'm usually the person that does not give a fuck to exchange words with any other individual. Like I don't care. Right. Like, but I started noticing like different things like within me and shit.
You want to unplug that? That shit, it keeps clicking and shit.
Yeah, it's only on that track. I'm looking, and I don't see it affecting any of the other tracks. Okay. But it's up to you, bro.
Yeah, we'll just take it off. And
okay, cool.
Probably unplug it from over there.
This one?
Yeah.
Cool.
I seen in the Wolf of Wall Street how I guess when he's trying to get the job and shit,
and he tells him to nut like 5 for 5.
He's like, oh, how come you haven't been nutting and shit? Like,
nutting, like, when they have 2-3
times a day and shit, you know, like because that shit clears your head and all that.
Yeah, well, those men are ran by other forces or other energies or other motives, you know.
That's
so
very true.
They definitely have to alter themselves in other ways than people who are like practicing other or trying to fucking unfold other goals and shit. But yeah, definitely, if you're in a fucking high stress level job and your fucking god is money and fucking the rat race, then definitely there's probably other things like drugs and other stimuli that you have to do in order to maintain in that lifestyle because it's pretty unnatural.
Right. Yeah.
Have you guys ever taken a shit standing up?
Like on purpose?
Yeah.
No.
I sharded at Ross when I was like in 4th grade. I still remember this thing.
But
at Ross inside?
Accident,
at
right?
Ross. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I figured I'd ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't purposely.
I still remember this shit. I remember everywhere. I remember the exact location I was in Ross when I sharded.
What Ross was it?
In Burbank, right there on San Fernando, next to a Taekwondo place, next to Active, next to now there's a Tender Greens. Yeah, it was a good one too. It was pretty.
You was a good shit, or
I was like 9.
Like 9? Okay.
Yeah.
You said it was a good one, like as in a good shit?
As in like, yeah, like after like I got in the bathroom because there was a line and I couldn't hold it, and I thought it was letting out gas, but it wasn't. But
damn.
I remember I just had a nasty rash after. And I was just like with only like 10 minutes of me waiting. I think it was 10 minutes of me waiting.
Yo, you're terrible at holding shit, so I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, one time we went. I
am too, actually.
We went to this one took me like on a little hiking trail or something with a pellet gun or I don't know some shit. But we fucking went on some little hike, and then like my stomach started fucking with me, dog, like in the middle of the hike. And I was like, hey bro, like I'm a dump, like y'all dip. So like this fool walks forward and I just do my thing. And then we were walking back in our trail, I guess like I forgot that because it was we walked a good distance and we walked back, and I'm like, this was like, fool, is that? I'm like, oh yeah, that's me.
It was like, the thing about it, the funniest shit was that it was on the trail. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, because it's a trail, no one's there or anything,
bad,
you know, it's like deep in the canyon and shit. But out of like, this fool literally took a shit in the trail, you know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't go to the bush or none of that shit.
Fuck the bush.
Joke,
where jaguars live.
Nah, I gotta shit now. He's like here.
Yeah, no joke. It was no joke.
I'll never forget. I think we were driving to Utah or something. We're on the van. You met us out there, and Exsr was in the very back, and Tony was driving, and Exsr just got hit. He caught the Holy Ghost, and this was like, hey Tony, bro, I got a shit, dog. Hey, I got a shit, dog. He's like, yeah, we'll stop soon. He's like, but how soon is soon, Tony? And like 5 minutes later, it's like, Tony, I'm getting the shit sweats. Yo, and I look back laughing, and this fool's dead ass, like his hair's all fucking wet. He's like sweaty. Yeah,
high key. And honestly, fucking
Tony does have the shit.
Tony does that shit on purpose. I've done enough trips and shit with Tony where that fool drives because he's always wants to be the driver and shit. And this fool does it purposely and shit. Like we'll fucking someone will tell him, yo, I gotta piss. This fool's like, yeah, we're about to pull off right now, and this fool just keep driving for like 10 more miles and shit. Like, bro, I gotta piss and shit.
That.
You know, like
I feel Tony.
That's Tony and shit for sure. I feel an asshole. I feel like he did that shit on purpose too.
You ever piss in a bottle in the car?
Hell yeah, all the time.
Like while driving? Hell yeah.
Fucking talking about that hike shit you took. I went a week after that. I tell you,
it was still there.
The shit was still there.
Y'all should have put some seeds in that bitch. That shit would have grown as one of the best, nice ass tree right there.
It would have grown a fucking what do you call a tree that the Buddha sat under and achieve enlightenment? The Bodhi tree. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Shit, that shit was just all stiff and just still there. Like nobody had fucked with it. You know,
dude, it was bad. My stomach was fucking with me that day.
I wonder how many coyotes cross paths with that shit. Like, god damn.
They're like, yeah, this ain't no animal shit.
That's the same day where Infi, we went to the liquor store, right? And then Infi was like, I'm Infi 92.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, they're discriminating against me because I'm Latino. Oh, you remember that shit? Yeah. I guess he went in there and he felt discriminated against because the cash register wasn't nice to him.
We had stopped at a like gas station and
they were hella white. They were like the white proud people.
Where were you?
This it wasn't that far actually. It was like by Castaic Lake. I don't know, like towards Santa Clarita. And shit.
Going towards Pyramid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck. That fool felt mad offended too.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
I made fun of him.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fool.
I feel banned.
Yeah, he can't come here for 10 years. Well, it's probably been like 2 years already. So he's probably has 8 years ago.
No, he probably got like 4 down, I think.
Why he can't?
Yeah.
Not to air this motherfucker out. We could talk off air, but
yeah,
I'm unaware of this shit.
No, he just doesn't have papers.
Yeah, he overstayed his welcome.
Oh, he's originally from Canada?
Yeah, he was born
I
in
didn't know
Canada.
that shit.
Yeah.
No, but that shit was like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, because it was when I started talking to the girl I got prior. Yeah, I remember. So it was like
2 years ago?
It was 2.5 years ago.
Shit, so I forgot still 8 years?
Yeah, we still got a cool little minute.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I got a new kid and shit. Shout out to baby
Fool dude
92,
got a new
other
kid.
baby 92. Huh?
The fool dude got a new kid.
Yeah.
What part of Canada he's in?
He's in Windsor, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I stayed out there. I stayed out there with him for like a month.
Canada's dope.
Not that area.
Not that. I've never been to that.
Why that shit hood or what?
Nah, not even. Well,
Probably
not
rural,
they call
probably.
it ghetto, but that's just a breeze out from it's just there's not too much to do.
Yeah, it's just mad remote, probably.
Yeah, there's like one like 4 blocks of like stores or restaurants and stuff, but everything else is kind of just like neighborhood. It reminded me of Seattle a lot. Weather and environment and houses and
I'll
shit.
go fucking crazy.
That fool's saying that like they speak a lot of French there. Is it all
Yeah,
French?
yeah. Well,
Is it all Canada or just there?
no, Quebec. I know has a lot. I have a homegirl who stays out there.
French
Quebec.
Canadian.
That's how you say it?
Yeah, Quebec.
I thought it was like Quebec or
Oh,
some
no,
shit.
Quebec. My dad's calling me. Hello?
Suegro.
Amelia, estoy acá grabando unas cositas. Me da un segundo. No música, estoy acá hablando babosadas.
Hey.
I need to learn Spanish, bro.
I know, va a llegar mi
That's
caja
one
el
of the-
lunes.
I need to download Duolingo or some shit.
That's one of the-
Rosetta Stone.
Yeah. That's one of the questions in Rip, Dip, and Dive. I don't know if I asked you that.
I should just start fucking more Spanish bitches. Just kidding. I would never. What would you ask me?
If I asked you that,
What?
if you had a chance to learn a language, what language would it be?
I don't remember if you asked, but it would be Spanish for sure.
For real, yeah.
Really?
Like literally, like even today, I
Now
was
that
like, man, put that on your fucking list of just shit to accomplish. You know what I mean? I want to learn how to, I mean,
Do people try to talk to you in Spanish? Because you
fuck
kind of
yeah,
look Latino.
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Especially like in other parts of the world. But like, yeah, I don't know. That's just mad overwhelming to learn a language. But then you start thinking like, even in English, how much English do like in the scheme of like the whole English language? Like how many words do I really use on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you seem the basics.
Maybe 5%. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, fool, want a fucking podcast? Want tacos? Who wants to buy the 40s? You know what I mean? Like, that's all basic shit. So, like, I don't really need, if I just learn how to, like, converse, you know, order food and shit, that'd be tight.
If you learn Spanish, you'll learn Portuguese quick.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what
from
people were
Portuguese,
saying.
you could, I've been fucking around with some like German flashcards.
Oh, dope.
Fucking, it kind of they all like mash. Like at least from what the one I know Chinese and Japanese and shit like that's like another fucking thing. But like everything kind of like mashes in a sense some way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Language is crazy.
It all kind of stems from Latin. A lot of it. Yeah.
Those little Jap girls that I showed you last episode
Oh,
and
the
shit.
metal ones.
The song is called "Give Me Chocolate," and they're talking in Jap. I don't even know if they're Jap, honestly. There's something. They're Asian for sure, but the words that they say sound like Hispanic, or I mean Hispanic, Spanish and shit. You know, so yeah, I believe that, and it's honestly probably one of the most global fucking languages, right? Like
Spanish.
Yeah.
You know, Spanish. It's
aside
not
from
even.
English,
It's not
I
even
think.
called Spanish. The language. It's called Castellano.
Castellano.
Oh, shit.
Castellano. Yeah. This. Well, no. Please share because I want to learn more. Huh?
There's multiple Castellanos, there's Spanish, it depends because it's all from like Spaniards and shit like that.
Uh huh.
So it all derives from different types of Spanish.
Oh, shit.
Castellano is one of them.
Is there like a root?
That's dope.
Is there a root? Yeah, Google it, cause yeah, my parents always swear by like like it's not like Spanish, it's Castellano, but I never researched it. So
Like legit terms for these things. Like
yeah.
Spaniard, there's the Portugal, like
Yeah.
they're all combined. Even Filipino has sort of a Spaniard in it because they
Yeah. Conquered by Spaniards.
Yeah.
They say from
in Filipino,
I think from Spain it's Castellano, like the language. Before it was Spanish, it was Castellano. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, but my parents swear by that, and I've been told that for like my whole life, but I might be wrong.
On my grandpa's side, we got Filipino, and when I looked at his dad, who I never met and shit, like he had like it was old school. I was like a little older. I'd seen pictures of him my whole life, and finally I put two and two together. I'm like, this nigga look like a Mexican. You know what I mean? Like straight Filipino. Up. Yeah, and his last name is De Los Santos.
Oh, I'm like, yeah. They have
Spanish like a motherfucker,
they
man.
They Spaniard last names.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
Like Peruvians too, like fucking. I got a side of my mom's side that's like hella like, you could tell where they're from, Inca blood, you know, like hella like jungle people or whatever, like or what? No, not even like that. But I'm just saying like people stuck to their roots.
Sure.
And then there are the other ones who got fucking conquered by the Spaniards and then fucking like mixed them up. And then you see like even like the little segregation between them as Peruvians, you know, they like hold the lighter ones, even though the ones who are darker or like more have more culture behind and more interesting shit behind it, like, you know. But that shit's hella interesting in Peruvian, like in the whole Latino fucking community. There's always like some type of like inclusive type of segregation, like, oh, eres un indito, eres paisita, eres fucking whatever. But
yeah,
it's interesting.
When I was in Cuba, I remember going to a few of the bars, and in the bar you had like the white tourists, but then you also had the light skinned Cubans. Like they didn't speak English, like they're from Cuba, but they could hang out in the bar. And then outside there was like a soccer game on or a fight or something. Like there was probably like 18 other Cubans all pressed against the window looking in, and they wouldn't let them in to watch the shit.
Why?
Oh shit.
Well, my homie Renee, the only Spanish speaker in our group, was asking. They just kept saying, "No, they don't like us. They don't like us." But it came down. He was talking more like they're, like you were saying, they're more like the indigenous people. Like they're more
like paisas and shit.
Essentially, they're just way darker.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Did they have different type of behaviors?
Not really. I mean, I was only there for like an hour. You know what I'm saying? Which that's where I go to. Like, you motherfuckers are too rowdy or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, perhaps. But they were like controlling themselves outside. And so we felt bad, and we went and bought a bunch of beer so cheap there. We just bought a bunch of beer and like came out with a case and like gave them beers, and we just drinking with them. And they were real cool. You know what I mean? There was no room to sit in the bar anyway. You know what I mean? It was full of white people and light skin.
So it wasn't
Cubans.
like they were indigenous, like straight from like the like they had manners and they had like so it was awesome.
They were wearing shoes and shit.
Yeah. Because I know in some places like fucking there's like people who are away from society, and then like they kind of try to like keep them. Is it in Brazil?
Like Amish?
There's like tribes that are kind of like they call them uncivilized.
I think in Peru also.
Peru, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, around all the Amazon, there's like Amazonian tribes. I was just watching this documentary yesterday with this dude who wanted. He was like had hella depression, and he went to Peru, I think. To ayahuasca, yeah. But that's what he was saying. He was hanging out with some of the tribes and shit.
I'm gonna do that in my I think I'm gonna do that when I'm 40. I think I'm gonna do a 40 ceremony.
Are you gonna do it here? Or are you gonna go elsewhere?
Peru. I'm going to Peru.
Have you been to Peru?
Yeah, I've been to Peru.
You can't do it here, can you?
You could get it.
You can get it. Yeah, you can get it.
There's even places in this country where you could go to a shaman, which is probably going to be a white person, though.
Yeah, for sure.
No, you want the original. Where? I mean, if you're going to do it.
Huh? Vegas, they do it?
It's some white bitch with dreads.
And it's legal?
Yeah, bro. You could go with a shaman and everything.
It's not like it's not a white lady?
No.
Not that I don't mind. Like, white, I believe some white people could tap into certain things. Because at the end of the day, I believe it's bigger than a race thing. But
I'll tap into a white bitch.
You ever fuck a white bitch, Exsr?
I have.
Oh, yeah, he has. And I've met her.
Yeah,
and she's caused a lot of trouble. Well, from what I thought she was a sweet girl.
She's cool.
But
She's super cool. She's super cool.
No, actually, yeah, you didn't tell me anything bad. You just said like she was dealing with some little issues. Everybody got their issues.
You know, but she's a great fucking.
This was nervous. They're highlighting the fucking Playmkrs shit for no reason. Look at him.
I've been doing this.
He's nervous.
Psychoanalyzing this one.
So you haven't taken this shit standing up?
Nah. See, this guy trying to detour the conversation.
I was standing up in the ocean. but I'm technically just like
shitting.
Yeah.
Oh, you sick fuck.
Shit in the ocean.
I've had a homie.
I mean,
I guess
it
that's
It
natural.
happened like a month ago. I was young, bro. I was like 10.
Damn.
Right around the time.
Did that feel
same
weird?
age
I'm sure that shit felt
you
weird.
Shit in the store, son. At least I shit out in nature.
Unintentionally.
It felt weird, but it was kind of cool at the same time. Like,
Did it? Oh, I don't even want to ask.
just a shit.
Yes.
I had a homie that when we were camping and shit, this fool took a shit in the river, like, cause it's just fucking river and shit. You know, we're posted, we're chilling and shit. He's like, yo, I gotta take a shit. And I mean, he could easily go out and take a shit in the bushes. Like, no, I'm gonna take a shit here. Took a shit right in the river, wiped his ass with the water and shit. You know, just like that. That shit floated too.
And right after
cool.
that,
Something cool
right
about
after
it.
that, there's a white person who's like, "Yo, river water's the best. It gathers minerals from the rocks."
Yeah.
Bunch of bloop shit, bloop shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah.
You got some dude from the Amazon fucking scooping it up for ayahuasca rituals and shit.
Yo, that same cat. I don't know if I might have said this before, but that same cat, he taught me something new and shit. Like every time he needed to take a piss and we were just walking, we were at a park or wherever. So we used to sit on the sidewalk. It only worked if he had shorts on and shit, you know. So he would lift, like he would just kind of sit, or like by a car.
Yeah.
And just lift one fucking pants, like from his fucking short.
I've seen that from soccer
To
players.
shit?
Yeah,
Or
no,
to
to
piss?
piss.
Oh,
to
yeah,
piss,
yeah.
to piss,
That-
I've seen that
okay.
for soccer
Just
players.
fucking, like, you know,
Yeah,
just
that's-
like that.
I
I've
mean,
never seen that shit. That
That's
shit was
soccer, that's
amazing.
rugby,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of it. Just
Just like, you know,
on the sideline, pull the dick out the side. Yeah.
Bro, that shit-
You ever piss that way?
I piss that way when I have like basketball shorts in
Hell
public
yeah.
bathrooms. I'll just pick up the leg
Yup.
and just like, yeah,
Yeah,
Easy.
That was new to me and shit for sure.
easy. Sometimes it does like kind of like you, if you got to take a piss real bad, you just whip it out and you kind of lift your leg up, and then like sometimes you notice your dick's kind of being tilted because it's still kind of getting pushed, and you piss all over the rim of the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, because
Yeah.
the leg of the boxers or whatever.
Yeah,
you're
or
wearing
kind of
is
like pushing, pressuring,
Yeah.
like so it's going that way.
I
and-
get you.
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
Yeah.
It's happened here actually too.
Are you guys circumcised?
No,
Yes,
You are, for real?
I am. Yes.
Like
not.
out of like from as a kid, like
Yeah.
that's shit. That's
Yeah.
good.
yeah, I'm not, and I'm yeah.
That's
I
a
think-
weird thing. Like I never knew the difference. Obviously, you know what I'm saying.
I have a story for y'all about
Please,
circumcision.
hit me.
Okay, I won't say his name. Y'all might know him, but he's my boy. He's Jewish.
Spits.
It's not Exsr.
No, that fool's not Jewish. All right. Anyways, this fool, his dad was Jewish, but I guess
Is he a rapper?
yes.
Okay.
Shut up. All right. So he grew up whatever with his mom and his dad. They changed churches. It's a Jewish church, and then they considered him and the mom not as Jewish or not real Jewish. So they had to like reback or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, there's a word.
Pretty
I know what
much,
you mean.
this fool was 14 years old. 14 years old, and made him have another. This fool was already circumcised because he already was Jew as a kid, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when he got older, in order for him to join this church, they had to make him circumcise him again.
What the fuck?
Okay, so obviously he doesn't have the foreskin no more, right? So what they do, this fool said they did a little ceremony thing, and they grabbed a pin and poked the head of his dick to draw blood, because that's a ceremony. Just like every Abrahamic religion and everything else is a fucking occult.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They poked him on the head of the dick to draw blood and consider that as like the thing. And this was 14 years old. Imagine you being 14 years old and getting your dick poked, not in the head, not in the on the head, but not in the urethra.
Yeah.
On the fucking side of the head. Imagine that. And then this fool was like, fuck Jew people, fuck Jewish people. Like he's like, I'm Jewish, but fuck Jewish people and fuck their things. Like yeah, that fool is like. And did you hear? Now I'm gonna digress, but did you guys hear also about like kids catching herpes off because they bite off the foreskin.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids,
They buy what?
they bite the foreskin off the kid in ceremony. It's like a Jewish ceremony.
What
So,
I
like,
heard is they cut it, and then the rabbi places his mouth on the kid's dick and sucks the foreskin off, and it stops the bleeding. Like that's a real thing, and kids were getting herpes.
This is every Jew.
Documented. I don't know if it's every.
I don't know.
Jew.
Yeah, it's
I
probably
don't know
some
if it's an old
extremist
thing
shit.
or some extremist shit, but like it is a thing. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
I'm telling you, a lot of religions or doctrines or practices, they all stem from penises. Think about it, bro. That's what gives like a life into something. But like they have a deeper understanding of it even more. Like,
where do you draw the line though? You
know I don't know about that shit. I don't fucking poking motherfuckers in the head.
That's
what
I'm saying. Or
like,
just fucking bite the foreskin off a kid. Like,
a few steps before a rabbi sucking my dick.
That's what I'm saying.
The line has been drawn.
It's just their tradition, bro. Like how they view like certain practices that us normal people in this society have as like fucking like heathens or fucking weirdos. Like,
I just don't think our shit's that extreme. You know,
well,
like,
it depends on perspective, because I think it could be seen as extreme the way our society lives and how like we're like the way we use sex and the way we use a lot of like indulgence and substances and normalize it, especially weed. I'ma love weed, but how it's so normalized right now, bro. Like nobody should be high 24/7, dog. Like nobody should, like, it's just too normalized. And why is it normal? Like now to the point where if you tell somebody who you feel like someone who's never done weed or looks down upon weed, they're the weirdo. But it's like, all right, like we get freedom of like do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, like we are kind of like a condition to normalize it.
I think sexually too. I mean, just fucking everything that we billboards and videos and everything. I think we are super like
sexualized.
Yeah. Facts.
I think
so too.
I agree with both of those points, and I think something to keep in mind too is like, for the most part, our society we live in now, whereas like that's the majority of our lives, this is kind of a reactive point in history where shit has been illegal for so long. You know what I mean? Where now it's like they loosen the reins a little bit, so everyone's like, fucking weed for all. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like maybe that'll become the new norm, or maybe it'll like eventually normalize and it won't be as, like you said, I don't know if accepted is the right word, but it won't be like so in your face.
A lot of like how shit gets commercialized for sure. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, it could get altered by people trying to sell their products that are like, you know, or it could be altered for like a greater agenda to numb people down or whatever people want to place their fucking theories on. But but being high 20 from a person who loves weed, being high 24/7 or every day does something to you, and it
would have to be. It'd have to, right?
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. Like you could function. Definitely, you could be a functioning stoner, 100%. Cool. Yeah. But you'll be missing out on a lot of aspects of yourself that you could probably tap into without weed. And I'm a believer in that because I love weed, but when I take my breaks, I just notice how better I am. Yet when my break time is over, I'll start indulging. So that's a lack of self-discipline on my part that I have. Like I'll start indulging excessively on the weed because I knew I accomplished my time frame.
It's like a reward almost.
But then it reverses everything that I was striving for with that break, which was to lower the consumption, you know. But it's just it's an addictive way of rationalizing in my head. Be like, oh, I did my time, I'm out now, I'm good, let's go back in it. I did it today. I smoked one time today. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up. It's the morning. I said I was gonna smoke at night, but I already justify this because I did it for a month. That means I'm not addicted because I stopped for a month. But it's not even like a substance addiction, but it's just a habitual necessity.
Is a word for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely habitual as far as weed goes, I think.
What you're describing right now is literally like verbatim, like word for word, how they describe it in like AA for Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever. Yeah. If you even like, in a sense, you think, and me, I'm definitely, I don't want to say I'm a victim of this, but this applies to me for sure in my life. Like, you think you're doing good. You're not necessarily doing bad, but you think you're doing good by like trying to do all these little, jumping jacks. Like, oh, I'll go 5 days here, and okay, I'm already a day into it, so maybe I'll go 5 more days or 4. You know, the second you start trying to do all these little games and shit, that is the sure sign that you're fucking alcoholic.
There's no clarity because there's no clarity. You're literally like adjusting your schedule and time frame and indulgences on a specific belief system that you need that shit. So like, okay, this is good right here, but I'm gonna do one thing right here.
It's like modifying your life around it.
Exactly.
And it's weird when you start manipulating yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and you
yeah,
start
the
lying to
worst.
yourself.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the
Like
worst.
your brain's fucking powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like there's two of them in there, and one of them will like
Yes.
start trying to trick the other. That's like the age-old devil and the angel. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of all the same person. You know what I'm saying? And
100%.
you're trying to manipulate yourself. That's what's crazy.
Same
about it.
coin, different sides.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And both could be used for whatever you perceive as good and bad.
Sure.
That's what that's why I love the occult. I always go back to the occult. The occult, I'm telling you, that world is like a world that needs to be. Not needs to be, but if you want to fucking get on some shit, like dig in that bitch, because you'll find some shit that'll blow your brain back. You'll be like,
Yeah.
but anyways,
I'm over here just trying to learn the stock market and shit.
that shit ain't shit.
Yo, you know where I'm supposed to be at right now? Instead of fucking drinking here with you guys?
Where?
Where?
EDC.
Where?
Oh,
What
EDC.
is
It was
EDC?
this weekend.
It's a
It's a whole lot of...
it's a rave. Rave, bro. EDC, the fucking
Yeah, it's like-
electronic Disney carnival.
Disney, yeah.
It's
Wait, Disney started that shit?
No,
It's
it's
dance,
Daisy.
right?
Oh,
Daisy.
sorry.
Yeah, Electric Daisy Carnival, I think. Or some
Where's
shit like
that?
Yeah. It was supposed to be in Vegas. It is in Vegas.
They
Oh,
did.
shit.
They
I
did them
didn't
in other. Didn't they do it somewhere and then they banned it because somebody died or like
Yeah.
where was that? Was that in Vegas or was
No, I think
LA?
I think it was here in LA and
that?
shit.
Yeah, somebody. Oh, it's here. Yeah, it was by the China Theater, right?
Oh, the one that died? Yeah, she overdosed, right, on Fizz.
Was that the EDC that happened in Chinatown? Yeah, at that park right there by the off the fucking 110. Yeah. I remember that shit.
That shit got big though. That whole festival got huge and shit. It's like it's crazy and shit. And this weekend it was supposed to be 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we had planned this since like last year. The tickets went on sale. Then shit's fucking sold out like in a month or probably less.
Damn, did they
And
refund
this was
people?
Last year. No. I think they pushed it back to
postponing
like
it.
October. Or
And
something
they're like,
like
look,
that.
we made millions, we can
Oh,
get
yeah.
shit back. We
Yeah.
all gonna get yeah.
But yeah, it'd be
Yeah, they already spent all the millions and shit. Yeah.
For real.
Motherfuckers bought new cars and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be super coked out right now
Damn,
for
they,
sure.
they extended shit
just
3
saying,
months out here, huh?
We could still, not me, but you could still be okay if you wanted to.
it is
If you wanted
a possibility.
I could beatbox. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. EDC right here, baby.
They did extend that quarantine though to August.
Shit's stupid. I'm gonna go.
They
Honestly, I think a
extended
lot of
to
people are
August?
over it.
yeah.
Yeah.
3 more months.
Oh shit! Last time I heard it was
It's that time for motherfuckers to just take off their mask, walk outside, and be like, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna end up happening. and shit.
Underlying people with problems are gonna die, and that's inevitable because if the flu hits them, they gonna die too. So
right.
for me, it's just like, yo, bro, like shut the fuck up
A
already.
lot of people got over it. I got over it.
Yeah.
already.
Oh
Fuck all
yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
Fool, I never got into that shit. I was in
Same.
fucking Huntington Beach, fucking chilling with those protesters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen those bioluminescence fucking
Oh yeah.
waves.
I didn't get to see that.
Bro, that shit's crazy, dog. I didn't even know that was a thing and shit.
What
but
is it? What is it?
I guess it's like some sort of
Plankton. It gets.
When
yeah.
it kind of like glows and shit. Yeah,
That shit's
yeah. I'm just
dope.
talking about.
that shit's
It's
dope.
plankton, right? Am I being stupid?
Yeah, no, yeah. I think you're right.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, the plankton like reflects the moonlight or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Nah, I don't think it's the moonlight.
I think it's the same shit that the fucking what are them bitches called? The ones that fly with the lights and
Fireflies?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
like the
okay.
shit that jellyfish have and all that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't know, but that shit look tight. That
I'm gonna
shit
take a
look dope.
piss.
Were you in Huntington Beach when they were protesting?
After like
Oh,
the
yeah.
day later. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was around there. That
Shout
time
out
too.
shout out the Patriots out there.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Y'all think I'm joking, but I'm
Nah,
not.
nah. I know you're not joking. God damn it. I'm gonna pause it.
Problems with
All right, we're
people.
recording, so no one talk about
Okay,
you
cool.
know everything.
Oh, the
We're
fucking
angels.
corn guy.
yeah,
We're angels.
yeah.
Corn guy.
Oh, corn beef. Corn guy.
You know what I mean?
So what are you saying? Like those people who are like antagonizing like Mexican
Yeah,
street
yeah.
workers that sell elotes or anything.
Yeah.
They're just cowards, people seeking attention. That's how I see it. I don't think it's really a racial
Cloud
thing.
chasing and shit.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe a racial thing for them, but
I don't think it's racial. I really don't
Me
think
either.
it's racial.
Yeah, me either. Well, I'm thinking for them, because there is like blacks that don't like Latinos. There is Latinos that don't like blacks. You know, doesn't mean that we have to fucking succumb to thinking that there's a race war out there because some dumbass knuckleheads are doing some dumb shit to other races and shit. But, yeah, I think it's just some fucking individuals seeking attention and fucking, bro, they don't know better. They're fucking dumbasses.
And I will, and I know I'm usually the contrarian as you usually are yourself, but it's like, I'm like, obviously that sucks or whatever, and I'm on the corn guy side, right? But it's funny, as in with every other issue, like the media will sit there and like fucking manipulate it, right? They say like, so the video I saw was the guy throwing the egg at the guy, right? And it sucks. Dude, I beat someone's ass if they did it to me or someone I fucking care about or whatever. But it's like the attack. What's that an attack? I mean, come on, bro. Like an attack. It was a dickhead thing to do, but like you use the word attack in the headline so people click on it. You know what I mean? You say attack, I think someone got punched. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's shitty to do. I'm not at all justifying it. And if you think I am based on my words, then you're not smart. Not you, but listeners. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not smart enough anyway, so I don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm clearly not justifying it. Yeah. But attack? Come on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's just not the correct proper words and shit. Like
there have been attacks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There have been attacks.
Media always be exaggerating titles and fucking some fucking dumb shit. What's up, Tips?
Yeah, I'm saying like there have been attacks, but that specific one
I didn't see that one. That's crazy.
That was a lady. It was the first one.
Yeah,
she got choked and shit.
Oh, you're right. That's the one that Swift. That's the one Swifty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, shout out Swifty and shit.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, you're right. I googled that shit today. Oh, I sent it to you guys. I googled today and I seen him. I was like, what the fuck? I know that guy. Yeah.
No, he's doing good and shit. And right away, he jumped on it right away and started, talking on IG and shit. Like, can you guys look for this person? This and that. And it's cool because he's not instigating anything. He's not. He's shit,
like doing little peace treaties too, having black people, brown people, fucking in the same room.
I know there's a lot of like black cats that are not fucking with that as well. Like they're against other.
Oh yeah.
Like it's.
It's always like young knuckleheads, bro. Same like the young like Latinos, the young whites, the young doing the dumb shit, and the older cats are like, "What the fuck are you doing, dog?" Like,
classic,
yeah. That's just always been happening. It's just motherfuckers. I don't know, dog. I don't know what the fuck they're seeking. They're just lost. They're lost. They're just lost people, like looking for attention. Got neglected their whole life by their parents. Had a horrible childhood. Grew up in fucking horrible circumstances, are seeking attention. That's all they are. Like, it's sad. Like, they're scum, regardless of what. Like, it could be the young white kids acting stupid, the young black kids acting stupid, whatever chip on the shoulder they got. Like, they're just out there to cause chaos so they could fucking have somebody bat their eyes at them and shit.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That's facts.
Strippers. You have strippers written down on that board. Do you have any stories, Exsr? Do you want to talk about strippers or something? I actually have a couple. Do you have? Yeah, I'm sure.
You never been to strip club?
I haven't.
Never ever.
We've talked about this. I believe.
Smart man. I respect that.
I haven't. And honestly, I feel good enough to not go anymore and shit. Like I don't.
I've
been told I'm not missing anything. Yeah. So
as long as you getting pussy, you're not really missing a whole lot. You know what I mean?
If you like to pay for like fake attention, you'll love it. If not, then you're totally fine.
I don't even think I'll be like right in the front, fucking tossing bills and shit. Like if I do go, it'll probably be with a group of people and shit. And I'd be in the back just drinking, looking from far and shit. Like
I've only gone to support homegirls. I'm like, yo, like and I'm not even trying to fuck or anything. It's just a homegirl, and I want to get drunk somewhere, and I know they have a fucking water bottle filled with something, and they're like a drink. So I'm like, I'm gonna get drunk for free and go support the homegirl and shit. Why Zooks tells her story though, because we know you got stories.
I feel like I've told these stories.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna surface.
No, I think they'll surface.
Which one?
There's like fucking 6 episodes that we have.
This motherfucker saying that we're not releasing the episodes.
Not the videos. Not the videos. The audio, I think we're going to.
We're gonna censor a lot of the things though.
Yeah.
That's what just tweeted. I'll walk several steps out of my way.
That's crunchy. I've so related to that shit. Fuck yeah. I so related to that shit.
That's tight.
I so related to that, especially as a kid going to school and walking to school. I remember I used to do that shit all the time.
The best is when you get to the gutter and you just see like hella leaves. Like fuck yeah, 1 foot in front of the other. Just
satisfaction.
It's tight. Yep.
Straight up.
What do you think it is about humans that fuck with that? Because I know that whole ASMR shit's like hella big.
I think it has to be somewhat in that same realm, right? The ASMR,
100%.
Yeah, like
It's a sense of satisfaction for sure.
yeah.
And-
Popping those bubbles.
or
Yes.
like anything. I think visualization too. Like anything that gets cut like perfectly, or like just
Yeah.
a perfect ball. Like
Yeah.
that shit's crazy.
Today I was
Yeah.
painting my fucking some desk. Yeah, I was painting it white, and I was like just mesmerized by. Like I was like, damn, this shit's like a trance.
Therapeutic. And shit.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very therapeutic. Yeah.
It's just dope. Talking about trance, would you let somebody hypnotize you? I'm saying like actually like not you being a skeptic and sitting in a chair like, all right, let's do it. I'm saying like
No, yeah,
relax
yeah, I know
yourself
what
and
you
kind of
mean.
all right, fuck it.
Yeah,
let's
I
see what
would.
you could do.
I would. I mean,
Would you
like-
trust them?
Well, like with most things, it would have to be like I won't even do drugs with people unless I like really and trust isn't the right unless I'm like super comfortable with them, right? So I'd have to have at least 2 people who I trust.
But what
in
could
the
go wrong? Or
room.
what is trust like? As in how? Like why trust? Or
So-
why would you not trust?
Just because I don't know, like he can make you do some shit you
Comfort
don't
and
wanna do.
trust. So comfortable as in like you being able to express or like relax in front of them, or the trust, or
Yeah,
not so much trust because you feel like you don't need to. You don't. What's
It's not. Yeah, that's a good point. It's not. Okay, so we'll speak on trust first. It's not so much trust in the sense of like, can I trust you're not going to do some weird shit to me? You know what I mean? Like,
or put something fucked up in your subconscious mind.
Yeah, it's not that. It's when I that's why I'm saying more like when it comes to drugs and shit. I only do drugs with people I'm 100% comfortable with, and I have a lot of friends who do a lot of drugs, and I won't do it with them, but they know I do it, and so it's hard to tell that to someone without them taking it personal, and it's 100% me and not them.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's just like it's a very short list of people, and really, if we're being honest, it comes back to me. Like, there's only a few people in life that I'm comfortable being 100% vulnerable around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what it's not. It doesn't come down to like. It has nothing to do with like them. Do I trust them? It's like, do I trust myself to be vulnerable in front of these people? You know what I'm saying?
Have you heard of that book, The 4 Agreements?
Yes, I've read it actually a long time ago.
Me too, a long time. I barely
Yeah.
picked it up again like 2 days ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I feel like I've never read it.
it's one of those books like you could probably stand to read once a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's real
yeah,
short.
yeah.
You know, just power through. It's like don't take anything personal.
Do you
I
think
don't
you
remember.
agreed to any agreements in order to be the way you are, as far as letting comfort come selectively?
I think I know where you're going with that. Unpack that a little bit.
So do you think that you're saying you're not, there's only like 4 or a certain amount of people that you'd
Yeah.
be comfortable with it? Do you think that it's like that's an agreement that you made of yourself, as far as like the world, you feeling some type of like the world won't understand you
Like rejection.
in a sense?
I think
But
in
where
a
am I going
sense
with this?
everyone feels that, right? I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
like I think that's just part of nature and shit, vulnerability.
But
like,
drug wise, this is the curiosity with drugs. Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Is it like you have like you feel comfortable freaking out in front of certain people, or you
Yeah.
feel comfortable like being vulnerable, or you
Yes.
feel like that's what it is?
Yeah.
And what do you think other people who would see you being in that vulnerable state, do you think that they like would?
judge you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and when I really sit down and think about it, probably not. They probably wouldn't.
So
You
it
know
is
what
a
I mean?
you thing. That's what
Oh,
you're
it's
getting
that's
at?
what I mean. Like
Okay.
it's 100% me.
Because it's not like you're doubting them. It's not like you're not trusting
No,
them or
I'm the
anything.
It's
same way.
100% me.
I'm
Got
the
it,
same
got it.
way. I
I
can't even
can't
sleep
trust
with someone.
myself. Yes.
I can't even sleep in someone in the same bed if I don't like have like a trust or
Were you
connection.
the one that
in
told
it.
me that you turn around every time you fucking nut because you don't want them to see you?
No,
No.
no. I know fucking happily.
Yeah. Someone told me that they don't nut every time they fuck. Like they don't nut in front of the girl. Shit, they turn around because they don't want, they don't want the girl to see them.
Oh damn!
Hey, that's what we were doing. We should get that motherfucker on the podcast.
Yeah,
whoever that is.
Yeah.
Or at least call him.
Yeah, like we were saying. Yo, that's a good idea, yo. Like if we could get the audio shit situated, like to take calls from motherfuckers we don't necessarily want to like talk to for 2.5 hours.
Interesting motherfuckers we could talk to.
I'm saying,
I have some interesting motherfuckers.
It's easy. Hit him up like, yo, my man, you got 15 minutes?
My boy, I got my boy. Shout out from Seattle.
This fool, I'm trying to talk to.
Right? This fool put Extentacion, ski mask, like on the occult. Like this fool was like he lived in a household. I won't name the person who owned the house, but this guy owned a certain business that was based around pornography, and they lived in the same household. And I have another homie who lived in that household as well, so I have like multiple sides of the story. But this fool would pretty much, he was experimenting with a lot of the dark side of the cult with sexual shit, with porn stars and shit like that. So like, I know if I agree, we should blank his name out because I should get permission before I say his name before saying these stories. But
did you say his name?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, and you even complimented the name.
That's right.
Okay, but anyways,
The homie.
yeah. So but anyways, we could get that fool on some shit because that motherfucker, that fool's an interesting that fool's hella like into Aleister Crowley and
That's dope.
Dilemma and fucking Ordo Temple Oriente. Like that's the shit I'm barely getting into right now. Like that shit's interesting, bro. That shit's mad interesting.
I'm saying we should get motherfuckers to call in.
I'm down. I'm fucking
That'd
so
be
down.
hard.
This shit.
Even our friends who aren't necessarily down, like motherfuckers already on the YouTube page, like, yo, get Wino, get Wino.
Oh,
like I don't think Wino's really down, but I think that fool will call in maybe.
10
You know
minutes,
what I'm saying?
talk his shit.
Yeah.
No, we could do that.
Pedophiles. Me and that fool talk for like about pedophiles and this fucking.
That's the last conversation. That's all he talks about now.
Bro, me and him were talking about that shit for like 2 hours, bro. And I was like, that's when I realized I miss him a lot. Yeah, me and him be like, and that fool's up on game too with that shit. Yeah, he's up on game with that shit.
Every time you send me a video, I'm always like,
here you go.
What now?
All right.
Yeah, you gotta set time for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. You
and
can't
it's not
watch
only
that
the
shit
length.
while you're driving or
I
making
would
your
not only the
breakfast.
length, but it's like taking in everything. It's soaking in everything.
I wouldn't
'cause
waste
it's
your
like, what the
guys'
fuck?
time though. I would
Those
not waste
15
your guys' time.
That's why I'm like
I would
stressed
not
because I'm
waste
like, fuck, I know I'm gonna like this shit,
Yeah,
and that 15-minute video is gonna take 2 hours of my life because I'm gonna have to like rewind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would never ever send a video to somebody I feel I'm wasting their time. Never, dude. There's some girl. Oh, bro, I have a story. I have some girl. She's a scientist, and I call her a scientist because she works with chemicals in the University of Michigan. Right? She calls me. Oh no, I send her a video about Fauci, and then about how Fauci's a fucking dickhead and withheld certain like or hijacked. Plagiarized the fucking paper from somebody and allowed that shit to be in press and sit for 8 months.
Cat with the old guy with
He's
the
the guy that's
glasses?
leading the whole fucking. Yeah.
He's like the leading doctor. On
So this was
podcast.
corrupt as shit.
Yeah.
Fucking like mad like evidence everywhere, bro. This was a corrupt motherfucker, dog. Like, and so I'm pretty much like showing her this video, and then like she starts replying like, this person who's talking is an anti-vaccination girl, blah blah blah. My bitch, no, she's not actually. She works on vaccinations actually, and she believes in vaccination and autoimmune therapy and shit like that. She's worked with Magic Johnson. She's fucking helped the fucking whole AIDS epidemic and HIV treatment. She's actually legit. You feel me? Got arrested 5 years without due process for well, if you want to look into it, just look at how Dr. Fauci withheld HIV information and treatment.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
So look into that. But anyways, so I was putting her on. I was showing her this shit, and it wasn't while I was on the phone with her while she was watching the video, and all she was saying is, I just googled this lady. She's an anti-vaccinator. I do not like anti-vaccinators. They're fucking false. I'm like, bro, she's not an anti-vaccinator. She worked right here on Wikipedia. It says she's an anti-vaccinator, so she is an anti-vaccinator. I'm like, no, bro. She works on vaccines. Like she's not she says it in an interview. She's not an anti. No, the Wikipedia said that way. I'm just like, yo, like there's really no like, there's no getting through you. Like you and I got mad love for homegirl, but like you just been a machine that's been you've been a programmed machine to work a small angle of a medical field, yet you vouch for everybody else on thinking you understand everything. It's not wanting to see the corrupt side of the fucking academia compartment you're within, like. And she even knows. It's just weird, bro.
That's the thing.
It sucks because smart people are not smart people in this society. They're indoctrinated, memorizing whatever the fuck teachers pass down to them from teachers who have not questioned the same source. Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
it's like,
it's
what
sad.
do we consider smart and shit?
It's fucking sad. It's pathetic. Like, motherfuckers think they smart. Like, damn, that's just sad. Like, you're no.
Nah, it's some sort of ignorance as well. You get me? Like, it's ignorance and shit. And I think that comes with the intelligence or the smartness or like.
I go to this school. They told me this is right.
And this has to be it and shit. Nah, I get you.
Your school is state funded. Your university is state funded. Your everything is state funded. There's a new worship going on right now. There's a new God and it's called state. Like, you know, people don't want to dissect.
And honestly, like, it's just being realistic and shit. Like, not everything has to make sense. Not everything is true. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that you actually think that everything is true or everything does make sense, like, it's just kind of like, it shows ignorance and shit, you know, because not everything is what it is and shit, or at least what it's portrayed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to question.
Assume everything is exactly what it seems to be. And why would you ever question anything?
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel
and
that.
there has to be that
it's not true until the news says it's true.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Fucking dumbasses.
No, I get you. And I think the majority of people are like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes back to the last episode and shit. Like, it's just people are too bitched out and to even question straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I'm woke. Even that word is stupid.
That's stupid.
Like,
that word is stupid shit.
That word is dumb, but it's just there's certain people that just question. Simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain questions and certain doubts and shit, you know, and it's okay to question. Like, I felt bad. I remember this one time. I was younger and I was like, yo, mom, is it bad if I don't believe in God? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad because I'm Catholic and shit. You know, I did my confirmation, I did my first communion and all that. But towards, like, you know, I was just kind of like, am I doing bad for not, you know, for questioning what God is and shit, you know? And she kind of broke it down. I mean, honestly, I don't even think she knows, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the answer would be. Yeah. But the way she told me, she's like, oh, well, I mean, it's just kind of like up to you, you know what I'm saying? And everyone has that doubt. You know what I'm saying? Every single person that in any religion has a certain doubt to an extent, you know what I'm saying? So it's just how you run with it.
Until you get that real shit.
Yeah. And then so, you know, but I mean, there has to be some sort of doubt in everyone.
Hell yeah.
Everyone.
If not, you're an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't have doubt, you're an idiot. You have to have some type of doubt. Play devil's advocate.
Or if you portray not to, then you're just
brainwashed.
Yeah.
And you just fucking the fourth agreement says is like, you just form an agreement with whatever an adult said to you, and that's you forming an agreement. That's your belief now. You know, like, hey, you have a horrible voice. Stop singing. I'm fucking annoyed. And like, only because the person was annoyed, you believe you agreed with that person saying to you. Now you don't ever want to sing again, and you have a great voice.
Not only that, not only you, but if you're in a class or if there's someone around you, they'll probably think the same thing because you said it. Like, okay, well, he knows about music.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so he says it's bad. Like, all right, so now I know, and now I have a certain program thinking like, okay, well, this person, the way this person sings is bad and shit. You know, and anyone that sounds like him is bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it makes you wonder how many of your outlooks on life, from the small to the unimaginably big, right? Like, your entire essence are just reactions to things you've been taught or told or observed.
You know, a big one for me is my dad was jealous of my mom hella. Like, as far as, or like, he would always like be on her ass thinking like she was doing some shit, and from I was little, I don't know if she really was, you know. But my dad was like a jealous motherfucker, like possessive and shit, you know. So I remember like being little and like listening to this fool like snap on her, and like I would try to talk to him and he'll tell me some shit like out of anger, you know, be like, oh, I fucking your mom is fucking hot with some other person, even like. And I know my dad was a fucking possessive motherfucker at a point. She probably wasn't even doing shit, but from what I know. But anyways, we never know. But anyways, no, my pops was like hella jealous, more possessive. Like, when my half brother, he was like, and he admits it now, like, you know, and he apologized and all this shit. But oh yeah, so me growing up hearing all this like rant from my pops and shit, like I started noticing that I had a belief towards women, and I know a lot of people have them too. Like, women's are bitches, fuck bitches, get money, fucking like all bitches are hoes or whatever. Like, so we kind of get conditioned into thinking a certain way, you know, like, which there's a lot of girls who are deceitful and shit like that, you know, and not even girls, humans.
Right.
But so we grow up with this belief system, and then we kind of start sabotaging even healthy relationships. I've sabotaged a healthy relationship.
Yes, sir.
We would break up, and I would fuck around with mad girls, bro. Like thinking that like she was doing the same thing. I was like, you're single. Why the fuck ain't you doing it? You know, and you have guys on your nuts. Why ain't you doing it? And then one day, I had a conversation with this person, and I fucking just was like, yeah. I hooked up with this person. We're broken up with this person, thinking that they were gonna like me being honest. You're gonna be honest, and we could start scratch and shit. So I started name dropping. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I fucked around with this, fucking that.
This can't go well.
And then it was like, boom, sadness from their side, and like I don't fuck around with nobody. This side, you really done. And she was like, and there, she played it smart because she like kind of shut her mouth, like making it seem like she was gonna tell me everything she did. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna tell you everything because I'm like, you're gonna tell me everything. And I was like, I unloaded.
You're like, I'll go
first. I made a fool of myself. And then
or I mean, if she did,
she could have been withholding and then try to use that as a But like, I'll tell you one thing. The only reason I feel like there was one thing they told me which wasn't even like something to be upset about, but one thing that they told me, but I emphasize certain things thinking psychologically, me admitting these things is gonna hurt them enough to tell me these things, but yet like to this time frame,
it just kind of backfires at times.
It didn't work good on my side, so I fucking so I made a fool of myself for that part, and then I've started to learn that there is actually some people that you can't expect them to be perfect, but they actually do have certain principles that they live by, and I feel like I'm having trust in that again because slowly but surely I am understanding why they are that way, and I can't do certain things like I used to before.
You're talking about girls specifically?
Yeah, I'm talking about like being able to lie to girls to I can't do that shit no more, bro. I'd rather be upfront with a girl and be like, yo, like I fucked around and I did this and I did that.
I genuinely think that's growth and shit too. You know what I'm saying? Because after a while, you're not. Well, personally and shit, like I'm just over all the arguments because they're looking back at it and shit. They're little pity arguments and shit, you know. So if you're straight up forward from the beginning and shit, like I've been with multiple girls and right off the bat, like not to be a dick or anything, but right off the bat, we set standards and shit. We set like boundaries, you know what I'm saying? And whether it's, I don't want to say healthy, but whether it works or not, I mean, it works and shit. At least it's worked for me and shit, you know, right off the bat, set standards, set rules, set this and that. Even if you're not with the person and shit, just being clear. You know, like, I'm not going to be with you full time. I'm not going to be with you. I'm not just going to fuck you or whatever. Like, even that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a healthy relation. You know, I'm not going to say relationship, but relation and shit. You know, you're building something with a girl, with someone and shit, you know? But
do you think that's a healthier relation, or do you think the relationship, or do you think that's just an understanding? Which could be
either way, I mean, it's healthy, you know? Because, I mean, if you're bullshitting her,
are you trying to, but are you saying, like, you're trying to, like, build something consistent with, like, say, whether it be a fuck buddy, like, hey, like, I just want you to understand I'm just like trying to like have sex with you, or like trying to like express my sexual desires with you, like this is all I want? Is that like that, those type of agreements? Or are you talking about like open relationships?
No.
About,
it's
like the we're just here for this. Okay.
And I think that's healthier, you know what I'm saying? Like, right off the bat and shit, you know, because you're not in the middle of a relationship where you're pretending to love this person, or you're pretending to just fuck this person and shit, you know, and vice versa. I mean, they notice that, they feel that, you know, they sense that and shit, you know. Girls are fucking
y'all fake love bitches, fake love girls to like but fuck.
I've done it once.
Never.
I didn't either. Actually, you know what? I fucking I know this fool, we're at that tattoo shop and shit in Echo. I don't know what to say, it's Echo Ink and shit, but fucking I met some girl and shit, and I want to fuck, you know what I'm saying? So I got with her for the fuck, and then we ended up going out for like about 2-3 months and shit, but I never really took it serious. It was just more of a fuck thing, you get me? And I noticed that she started getting more attached. She started getting more feelings and shit, you know, and that's where I knew I fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Because I did it just for the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
But were you like leading her, spending
I was,
time with her,
I was, but it
talking
wasn't like a relationship time. It was just more like a fuck time. You know what I'm saying? Like I would call this person and shit, and she would pull up, we would fuck this and that, and I could tell she wanted something more. I just never provided that, you know what I'm saying? And I guess I did end up hurting her at the end because of that, you know what I'm saying? But if I would have been straight up forward and shit, everything would have kind of maybe, you know, settled a little better and shit, you know? But yeah, I've done that shit. I've done that shit for a fuck. Hell yeah, I've gone with a girl for a fuck and shit, you know? Yeah.
I think in high school was the last time I like made a girl think I liked her to just fuck. But not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Because there's no good and bad out of that though. Because I was like, yeah, it is kind of. But
to piggyback kind of off of what you were saying, like it's important to be upfront in the beginning, right? Intentions, boundaries, and all that. Where a fucking wrench gets thrown into the works is when, because after time, shit changes. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, it's all, I mean, this is hindsight's 2020, right? Like it's all in retrospect when you think about it. Like, damn, we probably should have done that. And I don't mean to project so much. You know what I'm saying? I'm mostly speaking about me and mine, but it's like it would, as long as we're okay from the beginning, from the fucking green light. As long as we're being honest with each other, we should also be honest about the fact that most likely anything we feel now could possibly change in a year, maybe a week. But so is it unreasonable to think, okay, in a year, let's sit down like you would in any goddamn agreement, any partnership, anything, right? Business or otherwise, and be like, okay, where you at? Where am I at? This is how I know what we said, but like, let's not talk about that. Let's see, like as of right now. Yeah. How do we feel?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Smart. Yeah. Like a rain check, not a rain check, like a little checkup.
Yeah. Check in with each other, man.
That's smart. I like that. I like that. I never thought that.
That's fucking healthy for sure.
That works better when you go into some shit saying, okay, in a year we're gonna sit down and like put our heads together.
No, you're right. You're right.
That gotta be a nerve wracking ass anticipation though, because it's like, you're in one page, she might have developed herself and be on some other page, and like you're into it, and you're like, damn, we got that checkup though. I hope she's in the same page as I am. You know, so that gotta be. But that's dope. That's dope.
I think with most, as it is with most things, like that's not to say that you can't check in with each other at any time. It's just more of a way to say, like, in the event that we haven't checked in with each other, we know that fucking March 1st, 2021, whatever.
Idea.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we've already checked in, cool, no need to. But like, if we haven't, we're gonna. I don't. but
that's great. That's a great idea, though.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, had I known that was probably a valuable thing.
Do you think it's too late to implement?
No, I don't.
I think it depends on your situation, though, right?
How long have you been with your wife?
I've been with her for 19 years.
Damn.
And that's what I'm saying. So
it's a long time.
That's why, like, we're kind of exempt from a lot of the things that people say, experts and otherwise. Or it's just like, yeah, but like, I've been with her since I was 16. And I've been fucking 7 different people from then till now. You know what I mean? So like, and as has she. Yeah. You know, and then you throw kids in the mix, all this kind of shit. So it's just like, we're kind of basing this whole relationship off of the fact that these 2 kids really fucking liked each other at some point. And that's not to say that we don't like each other now, but like we again,
you guys have like a different type of appreciation towards each other.
It is.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Comfort. Yeah. I think after a while, it's comfort.
Yo, there's no bond. Like, I don't know one couple that can like really relate to our bond. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like why would they be able to? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, it's fucking hard, man.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking years.
Yeah,
bro.
dude. Think of all the different shit you've been on in 19 fucking years. You know what I mean? And you're just assuming the 2 people are still gonna vibe.
And it's like, even then and shit, like, you know, this is your partner and all that, but how much are you holding in? How much are they holding in? You know what I'm saying? That they just can't, fucking communicate. You know what I'm saying? Because there is that as well. You know what I'm saying? That grows. You know what it is? It's building up a partner. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a partner, and that partner is someone you share with, you fucking sleep with, you shit with, you shower with, you know, and it builds something that you can't build with someone else, but it's a different type of love than from the beginning.
What
you know?
do you think about? Do you think that could be based upon the intellect we have upon the certain unions we have towards relationship? Because at the end of the day, we got to think about it. We're very uninformed or miseducated about how to maintain relationships. We've been taught through romantic
it goes
scenarios,
back to the whole
through
monogamy,
Disney,
right? Like,
not even just monogamy. I've been one about I'm very open to open relationships and stuff like that, but there's always that side of me that feels like it could work if both people were ready to be in a relationship. Because I feel like a lot of people get in relationships at young ages or get in relationships like visualizing the same like Disney movie outcome is gonna come, like not understanding like psychology of humans before. So like I feel like if there's two individuals that are okay, I know how the mind works, I know how the brain works, I know we're gonna be intrusive, I know we're gonna have like and we could build an understanding within that, whether it be an open relationship or whether it be like, hey, like, are you willing to master your impulses?
Yeah,
you know, in order to build a partnership, because this is what I require for you to be my partner, and it will be beneficial for you as if I was your partner, it would be beneficial for me. Are we willing to make the to move accordingly to these agreements, partnerships and shit, you know, which I do not which I was like not fond of before, but now I really think it is possible. But I think it's just about certain individuals who are in the right, like they've passed their little hoe phases, they passed the curiosity, I don't even want to say hoe phases, past the curiosity, past certain phases, and you're like, all right, cool, like
both of you guys have to feel that though.
Yeah, 100%,
like,
100%. So, and that's the tough part, because one party could front and be like, bro, I've done it all.
With that said, and you really think that, okay, so
I'm talking about marriage though. I'm not even talking about like boyfriend.
Me and you are married, right? Me and you are on the same page and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fucking you and all that.
I suspected that
taking that back.
Along, by the way.
Taking that back.
I knew it.
You really think that?
Fantasies.
Okay, so me and you come into an agreement, right? And we know what we want. We set boundaries. We communicate. I'm fucking, you know, I know what I want. You know what you want. You really think that down the line, 2 years, 3 years from now, it goes back to what he was saying, shit's not going to change? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it could. But that's communication. Well, through sexual desire?
No, not necessarily sexually. I'm just talking about
just like, hey, like you are a different behavior. You have a different behavior than I do. And
people change and shit. 100%. You know what I'm saying? People change, and depending on the situation and shit, you know, money fucking like, okay, so me and you are in agreement, you know, and money comes into play and shit. You know, I don't feel the same way you feel about money, and so that becomes an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is just kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
Hell
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like all that. And
hell yeah.
For you to hold a relationship the way you started it, it's kind of
unrealistic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say unrealistic, but it's catastrophic if it's not both people are on different pages.
Yeah.
Because I have this is my thing. It might be just my own psyche, like resisting the fact that or fighting the fact that it's not possible. I think still deep inside it is possible. And
what's possible?
To have a
healthy, long relationship.
Yeah, like a monogamous relationship? Or
I do. I do think so. It's
possible.
It's possible, but it will come with a lot of sacrifice, and it has to come with the same ethics as both people, and it has to come around with the same it's, and like I said, like it doesn't mean one is right. Not saying like, hey, monogamous is right and polygamous is wrong. I'm not saying that at all, but I do think it's possible for two people who seek the same monogamy to think. It's very rare.
Sure,
especially ones who haven't cheated or fucked around.
I do think, and this is not at all to suggest I have a better idea of how this could go. I don't have any recommendations or anything, but just like completely out of observations, like so much. It's just one of many things that's there's so many things that's like put on the shoulders of young people, right? whether that's like, I mean, imagine you getting out of high school, you're 17. Now pick a major, go to college, and this is what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. Like, what the fuck do you know about yourself at 17?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you know about yourself at 27?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so, and again, like, I'm just happen to be in the boat of people who started real early with the woman I'm with right now. But like, even if I would have got with someone when I was 25, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm getting at is, I think that's a big thing to put on the shoulders of someone who doesn't know shit about themselves, let alone the world. So in a perfect world, it's like this whole monogamous relationship thing would probably be better suited for people who have had more life experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like we are, I don't know if we're taught or we just like subconsciously agree that this is like the way things are.
Yeah.
It's like I meet someone, I'm 18, and then I agree, yeah, I want you for the rest of my life. And then here I am 32, 28 maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe 65, and this shit comes in that I didn't expect to come in, but it's like, why wouldn't you expect that to come in? You know what I mean? You're a fucking different person. You were a baby in the grand scheme of things.
And it's like you're sacrificing your curiosity and you're creating boundaries that are like, at the end of the day, not necessarily natural, you know?
And with that, well, my bad. Said, it's not that I'm against monogamy because of that. I'm more for knowing yourself before anything.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm for and shit. Like
100%.
I think that's where girls fuck up, because I feel like girls like are more emotionally driven, where if they love somebody, they literally could lose themselves in that love.
Yeah.
And they will like this sounds fucked up, but deceive themselves to view their man as an angel.
It goes back to manipulating yourself.
And self-deception. And they literally like, dude, I know girls who are faithful to their scumbag ass boyfriends, bro. And I'm just like, fuck. I'm just like, and like they know in a like, or they're in denial or something that they're like they're scumbags, or they're doing their thing, but they're just so like infatuated. And it's not even like a honeymoon phase where it's 1 year, like I'm talking about like a cool period, dog.
What do you think that is due to, though? What do you think that's due to? Like, would you say that
it could be fear of abandonment as a child? It could be a lot of psychological developments from their parents, like, or them being used to a certain type of love because their parents were neglectful, so, and then they like normal. So they're craving they're craving the love they deserve in their head. So it's like, oh, this person like treats me, like gives me this much of appreciation, but doesn't let me, you know. So they're they're just like accustomed to that chemical release, so they're just like used to that, you know. But like, or there could be ones that are just fucking, I don't know, bro. But there's girls like that. There's girls like that.
You're talking specifically about girls who don't like the idea of their men going behind their backs and fucking other chicks or hanging out with other chicks, but accept it anyway. Because there are the chicks the girls who are just down the rides, even though they're playing them. Because especially in the gangbanging community, like I know there's like, but I know there's girls that are just like, they'll catch their man cheating and fuck up the girl and fucking leave hanging the man. Like, bitch, you ain't taking my man, you know? Like I got you.
Where does that psychology come from? Like,
where does that stem out of and shit? Like,
what is it, territorial? Because is that even like, and I wouldn't say it's not a love, it's territorial, but there's more to it. I don't know. That's just weird to me.
It's just the way you're grown up.
Is it pride?
Or maybe
I think maybe a lot of it has to do with pride and ego.
Like a territorial.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, what about like? I mean, it might be ethics as well. You get me? Because, for example, my mom suffered a grip. You know what I'm saying? Like my pop was an alcoholic, crazy, mistreater, and all kinds of shit. And I witnessed everything, so I know how strong it could be. It was for her. You know what I'm saying? But she never to throw it in my face or anything, but she just kind of held on to having a family because that's the way she was brought up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that makes sense.
She took the fucking the arguments, she took all the pain, she took a grip, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
that's that old school shit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And it could just stem out of that even then and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily that visible to them, but I mean, it comes from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
No, I can see that.
I believe that's I respectfully, obviously, I believe that's more of a generational thing, and it's a cultural thing as well, because there's a lot of that in my family too, where like
I think
there's abuse
like
in the household and shit, and it's like, nah, that's just like part of having a family. You know what I'm saying? Like bills are due, and sometimes I get my ass kicked, and that's just, I'm the wife, and I gotta stay here because this is the fucking job I signed up for.
Exactly.
Whereas like as time progressed, you know, you could call it better. You could call it progress. You could call it the opposite. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, as time progressed, our generation comes around. The generation before us, and we're like, nah, I ain't gonna fucking stand here and get my ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous.
Bro, I'm a little bitch. A girl raises her voice at me. I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. No, I'm serious, dog. I'm serious. Like,
oh no, don't
I've
fucking ever yell at me.
I've noticed where I'm catching myself being a spoiled brat, because I'm like, you know what? Maybe I deserve to get an attitude. You know, like I did some dumb shit. You know, and then like I'll be like driving. You know, take me like a couple hours to like cool down and to get from that fuck that bitch to be like, okay, I kind of understand where she's coming from. You know, I put myself in her shoes and be like,
sure.
I would be a little pissed off if fucking, and then I'll like fucking like, and I'll still meet up with her and still act like I have that ego of like covering like, nah, bro, but you still shouldn't have acted that way. You don't like yell at me. I don't care what you meant. Like, but yet like, hey, bro, like shut up. You're at fault. You know, like I catch myself doing that a lot. I have an ego problem. Bro, and I'm realizing that. Shut up. But ego, we in the Western culture, we perceive ego as like fucking pride. But I'm talking about ego as perception of self. So I perceive myself a certain way, and when I'm in a certain scenario, I am not to be disrespected. Even though it's like, yo, shut the fuck up, little motherfucker. You're the same as everybody else. And if somebody has the voice of an opinion about you, you don't have to take it to heart. But at least like he deserves to have an opinion of you. You know. So like I start like reflecting these things, and I'm like, yo, like a lot of these girls are not wrong, and a lot of these and I'm hella aware of my shortcomings as far as like I have insecurities in certain areas, and I have certain like tolerances in other areas, and I have certain things, and they all stem from certain areas, and I always love to dissect where they stem from and fucking attack my own self. But I start realizing I was living in a reality that's kind of like, your whole reality and all these emotions you're living off are kind of based off a belief system, and this belief system and these emotions you're feeling off of this belief system are not the most beneficial beliefs. You know, like you right here thinking you have to be possessive over a girl or have a girl like fully devote herself in order for you to feel some type of appreciation towards her is a little toxic for yourself, not even for her, but for you. You know, like, so what are you doing to yourself, like constantly every day, or what belief system are you having an outlook on that's constantly poisoning you? And then it's like, okay, now I have to dissect everything and fucking reconstruct.
So doing that though, like that's improvement, you know, like that's growth.
Because most people don't do that.
Exactly.
Most people don't have that moment.
And not only a moment, but you're talking about like every day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like everything you're questioning and shit. Like I've been to the point where like every single fucking day, anything that happens, how I'm approaching this person, how this and that, but it's for me. You know what I'm saying? It's to benefit, like not benefit me, but to like improve myself. How can I do this better? How can I do this better? And it just becomes a habit to just kind of analyze how you're acting, what you're doing, all that. And that's
conscious.
growth. You know what I'm saying? Conscious. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like growth.
Conscious about your unconscious. We fucking react to shit without even noticing we're reacting to shit, bro. Like
I've learned a lot, bro, and that's fucking dope. And honestly, I think I might have said this before, but it had to be books, bro. Like books. Honestly, books is fucking everything that not everything that I know and shit, but like everything that has influenced me to even fucking look more into myself has to be books for sure. And self-help books or just just self-help books and shit. Like I don't think I've ever read a fictional book and shit actually, but you know, like I know that a lot of people, when they think about books, they think about Harry Potter and shit. You know, there's a lot of good shit out there. You know what I'm saying?
Something in terms of books, I've been, since the whole the world's fucking kind of melted, right? I've been getting a lot more into books. I'm always like reading a book, but I've been reading more than I usually do. And I find myself feeling guilty for reading certain things, like, oh, this isn't bettering yourself. You know what I mean? You might as well watch a movie or whatever. But like I've just recently, like in the last week, I wrote it down. I was like, okay, I'm gonna always be reading at least 3 books, and I'm gonna allow myself to take liberties as long as I'm reading something that benefits my mind.
Yeah.
And then something that benefits my brain, because I believe those are two different things, right? Something's gonna make me smarter, right? I mean, just on like worldly knowledge, like I'll read about fucking World War II or some shit like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where it ain't gonna hurt to know it. If I'm enjoying it, great, right?
Facts, yeah.
Something about something that benefits your mind would be more self development. You know what I'm saying? And then something for just pure enjoyment. You know what I mean? That's where I just get like, I want to read that novel, that Stephen King novel. Like that shit sounds tight. You know what I mean? Like I'll read that, but I don't feel guilty because I know, well, I also just read something. And that's not all in one setting. I just like want to be powering through 3 books at one time.
Yeah.
Read The Kabbalion.
The Kabbalion.
This fool, he's been telling me about it and shit. Something about pillars, like 4 pillars or something. Yeah. He actually gave it to me. Yeah, he gave it to me for my birthday and shit. And honestly,
that's dope when people give you books for your birthday. And shit. That's tight.
I for Christmas I got fucking a couple books too and shit. And it's a joy and shit for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he told me to read it, and I started reading it. And honestly, I'm not gonna front. Like it was just kind of basic or real superficial and shit. I didn't get into it that much. I got it like probably like a quarter in and shit, and I kind of just got over it because it was real kind of superficial and shit.
Okay.
You know, but I know if he were to hear this shit right now, he'd be like, nah, fool, you gotta fucking see this. You gotta think about this and shit, like, you know?
Yeah. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Because the motherfucker's in the bathroom when he just shit all over the Alchemist last week.
For real.
Yeah. Like, fuck you, self. I like the Alchemist, goddammit.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And I said this a couple episodes. And I told him, I was like, bro, you can't just shit on books, because this fool would be like, nah, bro.
Alchemist is cool, but he could have picked a different title, because Alchemist should be that title should be held a little bit higher than that book.
No, I get that. And like this conversation we had 2 podcasts ago, where you're like, no, it's a cute book, but like I don't want you. I don't like. It's not gonna teach you anything about alchemy. Like, it's not alchemy. I ain't pick it up to learn about alchemy.
But the fucking title is I get it.
I get it. I totally get it.
And I just talk shit. I talk shit about everything.
No, I know. I understand that. I understand that.
No, the alchemy is cool. It's a cute book.
You hate it.
No. Actually, I loved it.
No, you know what? Honestly, it was kind of overhyped. I personally,
it was kind of overhyped. Oh, absolutely, you know, absolutely. But again, that's I put that in the category of shit that I read for enjoyment, and then occasionally some things that you read for enjoyment will spill over into. That's a good point. I never thought of that way. So now it tiptoes the line between beneficial for your mind or whatever. Maybe you learn something historically or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
no, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it I'm fucking faded actually.
It's just cute. It's real cute. I'm just kidding. No, it's cute. But no, bro. But the Kabbalion is a great book to
so what I was telling him is that I didn't get into it that much and shit. I read like a quarter. And it was just kind of superficial. Like, it was just real.
No, you're because you're probably reading. You probably just read the introduction.
Nah, it wasn't. It was. I don't know.
The introduction is about adepts and secret societies and how certain knowledge has been passed down through certain people. But then like they break down pretty much the whole book is based about hermetic principles, and there's 7, and each principle is the principle of correspondence, rhythm.
And that's why I thought it was kind of like pattern. Just basic, because it kind of, I think there's more there.
No,
I'm not saying it's bad.
But you're missing the point though. You're basing it off like what I'm telling you right now. It's about using certain principles against others.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's when it starts becoming alchemical. And and then it starts breaking down like correspondences to certain body parts and certain principles. Okay. So like it gets deeper, and that book is literally just an introduction to something called the what's it called? It's a corpus.
Habeas?
I forgot. Nah. It's pretty much a collection of books based on some Hermes Trismegistus, which is like Thoth from ancient Egypt. But it's a good introduction, and it gives you like a little small glimpse of a certain language that you would have to like. You'll read the Bible. Just read that book and read the Bible, and you read the Bible. You'll interpret the Bible a little differently. And then once you get deeper into other texts, you'll read the Bible and be like, "Holy shit, fucking Bible! What is talking about? Fucking like you'll just read the Bible completely different, like everything, and like it's a language that's been coded in symbology, allegory, and a bunch of other shit. But just like the Kabbalion is like literally a good introduction to that language.
Yeah, so I got to the point where, I mean, it was like the first, like I said, it was like a quarter in, and it was just basically describing what these principles are, and I thought that the whole book was gonna be kind of like that.
Bro,
you have
to. It
like
gets
using
good
them against each other and all that. Like
it gets good probably like 60% down the book.
Okay.
That's when it starts using principles against other principles, and you kind of start putting shit into like. Yeah, it's weird, and then to me, like it was causing me anxiety reading that book because my mind couldn't grasp certain ideas. So like I would like stop or I'll try to reread it, and I'm like closing it. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And I like try to think about it, and it kind of makes sense. It starts making sense. I start getting anxiety, and then like my anxiety overwhelms me, and then like it goes back to not making sense. Like it's weird. It's like your mind's trying to grasp a fucking thought. It's fucking weird.
You know what really fucked with me? Real basic. I don't know if you guys have you guys read The Secret?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, I haven't read it.
I read like half of it.
Yeah, that fucked with me. I was about 18 and shit, and it fucked with me to the point where like it goes back to like every thought, every movement and shit. Like, oh fuck, I'm not doing this right. How is this gonna like reciprocate like later and shit? And it really fucked with me because that was the first time I actually got into my head.
Got into a cult shit. That's a cult shit.
Yeah,
that's literally like stemming their little. They got that book and just grabbed a little bit of little quote and like.
And I think that's important though. I think that's important for people who would otherwise not ever delve into that realm, right? I think it's cool. I don't know. You might disagree, but I agree and disagree. I think it's like. It's almost, this is very basic, right? But like for someone, it's like the Rage Against the Machine theory, right? Where it's like someone who grew up on rock music, who fucking hates rap music, but really they never even considered listening to rap music. They listen to Rage Against the Machine, and it's like, it's just enough rock that it like is comfortable, right? But it's like, this is kind of like, tight. And then next thing you know, you start digging deeper.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Whereas you never would have listened to rap music and the same goes for rock and roll. Like a lot of rap heads are like, fuck rock and roll. But then Zach De La Rocha come out rapping his ass off, and you're like, it was kind of tight.
Like an introduction,
gateway. Metallica.
Like exactly, like a gateway introduction from a orthodox religion into something more occultish because you're like, oh, this sounds kind of cool. Where does that come from? Oh, it comes from there. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's
there are the people 100%. Who stop there and think they know everything. Sure, you're always going to have that. But I think these things, whether they're music or books like that or whatever, the more mainstream things, I think they do serve a purpose. They can. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah. Except the Alchemist.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding.
Yeah, Nosa really hyped that up.
That's just mad new age spirituality, though.
I waited so long to read that shit, and mostly A, because of the hype, but B, because the fucking pages. I still hate the way the pages were. Like it's all tattered. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I chopped on the like when you close the book.
Out of here with that corny shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm supposed to like my
Sanskrit.
Brain, like oh, this shit is from a scroll found in the desert. See, the pages aren't cut perfectly. Yeah. Fuck, that's so impossible to like. You can't like skim. You know what I mean? Because the pages are all different sizes. Gotcha. Fuck you. I hate that shit.
I hated the ending. I loved it, yet I hated it.
I liked the first. I loved the first half of the book. The second half, it lost me. You know what I mean?
It was really leading on to something. Yeah, and then when there was a moment where I was like, oh, this can't be it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, and then towards the end I was like, oh fuck, like I read so much for this. Like,
sure. Yeah,
I read it in a fucking plane ride. I was pissed the fuck off. I was like, bitch.
What's that, bitch?
No, I'm just kidding.
At
the time, I thought it was cool. At the time, I was like, no, it's still a good book. It's good because at the end of the day, it teaches a very great lesson. Everybody goes out there seeking in the exoteric when everything's internally esoteric. Like everything is like here where you need it to be. We're out here fucking trying to fucking kill ourselves to be rich, kill ourselves to reach a certain amount of fame, kill ourselves to fucking have some type of notoriety amongst a certain group that you feel resentful towards just to prove them wrong. Like you have like everybody's out for this little mission without knowing, bro, like your peace and the peace you're seeking or the success you're seeking is literally about taming and understanding self. It's all here. Like, you know, like, so the message is fucking beautiful. It's great.
It's just you didn't have to hype up the whole story for that.
No, 100%.
I agree.
No, I agree with you.
right.
I agree with you. I agree with you. 100%. It's allegorical. It's like, bro, you might as well read a Bible passage or read something, and then you'll get the same allegory. You'll get the same message from thing. Dude, the Bible's a trip. The Bible is a fucking trip.
How fucking watered down do you really think it is?
The Bible?
Yeah.
Watered down as in like certain etymology has been lost through translation.
Everything through generations and through fucking inputs and that whole, like, for example, that whole Augustus shit from the calendar thing. How, you know, like how much has been implemented through generations and shit. You know, like I really do feel like a lot. It's been altered a grip.
Oh, 100%. Well, the King James Bible, there's only 66 books that are available. A lot of books got like they weren't allowed in the King James Bible. One of them being important, the Book of Thomas, which teaches you how to integrate or how to have the holy matrimony of opposites, which is mixing emotion with thought. And it's a meditative, esoteric practice. And yeah, there's a lot of information that is hidden through geometria, which is a Judaistic numerical code. So A is 1, B 2, B, you know. So a lot of texts or a lot of words that are like, bro, if you look, okay, I'm gonna get weird with it, but Christianity or Islam, Christianity, Judaism, any Abrahamic religion is literally the same fucking story.
Yeah.
Just in Kabbalistic allegory and
different
characters, but each character representing a gland from the body. Yeah. Fucking like it's all literally it's physiology, it's psychology. It's fucking it's literally a code to understand self, the sexual nature of self, understanding what to do with like it's fucking
and that's essentially
crazy shit, bro.
How some people take the Bible.
Yeah, that's how the Bible is written.
Okay,
the Bible, the Bible. Jesus died at age 33 for a reason. Fucking Jesus was born December 25th for a reason. Jesus died 3 days and resurrected for a reason. It's astrological. Look how the sun solstice moves. The sun moves at its lowest point at December. Yeah, I'm sure you know this. Goes back up fucking December 25th. Like it's astrological. Virgin, Virgo, fucking Scorpio, Judas, the kiss of death. Hey, betraying Jesus, giving him a kiss of death. Judas, Scorpio, Scorpion. Like everything's there's angels. They call them angels and demons. They're archetypes within the subconscious collective. This is like I'm telling you, the church or the Catholic Church and every fucking like church structure, top whatever the fucking fools who run shit, they love to like they hide certain information and they just. If you take the Bible literal, it'll enslave you. If you take the Bible allegorical, it will liberate you because you'll understand knowledge of self. That's all it is. In Greek, know thyself. That was like the biggest fucking. That was know thyself, know yourself, know thyself, and thou shalt know you are the universe in God. Like micro, macro, as above, so below. Whatever is micro within is macro. We are a micro to a macro, and the macro that we perceive is a micro to another macro. Like it's literally, it's a perception fuck. Once you kind of start getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and at first you kind of hear all this and you're like, what the fuck? Like when I was reading a lot of this shit, I was like, this just sounds like bullshit. Until you start knowing, learning, picking there, and then everything just fucking, you're just like, oh damn, I kind of get it. And it's kind of it's kind of a little hard to articulate it, but I kind of get it. It's like a gnosis, and Gnosticism was just like the esoteric Christianity. This word, the sense of the definition of the word is a knowing. It's not even something that you could explain. Yeah. It's different. I'm not saying I have that. I wish.
What you just said right now, though, like just actually taking the Bible literal, and that'll completely enslave you. For sure. And it's not, and I know a lot of people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like just not even necessarily the Bible, but just religion itself, you know? Like not everything is that literal and shit. And taking it that literal will make you even miserable at times and shit. You know, there's a lot of unhappy people out there that go to church every day, that go to church every Sunday, that fucking call each other brothers and sisters, and they probably feel the most fucking you know, anger, you know, or fucking just they hate so much, you know, when in reality they're trying to portray something else. And
100%.
And even that itself, knowing what they're doing and what they're feeling, that shit'll fucking drive them crazy. And that's the enslavement. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying? Like,
I'm part of a little organization, and the start of this organization was based on a certain craft, and a lot of these people I try to talk to about this shit have no fucking clue what the fuck they're in.
Yeah,
so this shit has
exactly,
become like even like a fucking like a Christianity or thing, or people joining for the wrong reasons, and I'm just
That's
like
human nature, I think.
100%.
That's just the
100%.
need, the desire to belong to something.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's why- that's
you're gonna
why-
get that with anything.
Exactly. That's why I believe in gateholders. I believe in strict. I hate the whole acceptance fucking philosophy. Where like, oh, you get a first place trophy. You get a first place. You want to participate? You're in. Like, fuck that shit, bro. Like, you fucking put in certain disciplines that are required, that you need to acquire before you step into certain realms. Like
something, my bad. Something that I feel like is ignorance as well. Is just like not admitting that there's better people out there than you personally. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are like, nah, you know, everyone's the same. Physically, maybe mentally, or not even mentally, just physically or whatever, you know, the abilities are there.
Yeah,
but
we all eat and shit.
exactly.
And piss. Other than that,
are you
nah,
talking about
there's
like what
fucking-
virtues, as in like people who
everything,
100%.
everything, virtues and fucking just discipline, bro. Like fuck, dog, discipline itself. You know, there's people better out there than you and shit. You know, like they could fucking, they have the willpower to tomorrow say I'm not gonna do this and not do it. You know what I'm saying? Like the majority of people, including myself, can't do that. You know
And
what
we
I'm saying?
lose
So,
faith
like,
in ourselves, thinking that there aren't people like that are doing it, or they just fake the funk and in social media pretend they're doing it, but they're not. So you watch them running every day or going to the gym. Like, oh, well, you're probably just taking pictures. Shut the fuck up. You know, you're just going past them, like, not knowing that they're actually doing it. So like we use that as a way to justify our fucking shortcomings. Be like, they're probably not even doing it. I'm not gonna do it.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
bro, this whole fucking life, at least to me, bro, this is like, I haven't been on fucking I don't go on Instagram like that no more. I'm literally, and it's kind of like scaring me, yet it's scaring me the only fact because like financial gain. That's the only reason it's scaring me. But I'm really like wanting to drift the fuck away from like everything. And like I'm thinking like, bro, get a fucking job at a little coffee shop in fucking Spain or fucking like something, and then from there move to another, take a little train from Europe to there, go to another country, work there for a little bit, like, because the experience and the fucking new faces and the knowing, to me that's life. Like,
I agree.
Like the fuck am I gonna like make mad money recording shit in my fucking room, or like imagine like I blow up off a song and my whole thing's making music and like I get used to that comfortable life. Not saying that I can't travel if that was to happen, because I still could, but like I'm saying like, yo, like am I waiting for a certain point to reach
that's the waiting part. The waiting part is what fucks you up,
and that's where it's like I need to get the fuck out of that. I need to get the fuck out of this fucking like belief system of comfort that I fucking like. Especially me, because I'm a very like my anxiety drives a lot of my life, you know. So like I make decisions based off my anxiety, knowing that if I go there in this car and I'm not driving and I have to be stuck with them the fucking 2 days, I'm probably gonna be anxious as fuck, knowing that I can't go home whenever the fuck I want. That's gonna fuck with me in my head, you know. But what kind of bullshit ass fear is that, having motherfuckers in prison for their life? You know, people withholding or people back in the day fucking traveling 32 days in order to get from point A to point B and by a fucking horse or a camel. It's like, bro, like my ancestors and my fucking like they fucking withheld themselves through way tougher situations, and I'm right here bitching about my anxiety. You bitch, like, you know, and that's where it's like I can't help the self-negative talk, because sometimes I feel like, yo, like I know that a Napoleon Hill would say, talk to yourself the way you would want to talk to somebody you're helping now. Like, hey, bro, you're not weak, bro. You're just thinking wrong. Keep going. But like sometimes I want to be hard at exactly. Be like, hey, you're being a bitch,
bro.
You're being,
like,
exactly.
Honestly, there's no way around it.
100%. And only a child would take that wrong, or only a child will develop that wrong. But I'm saying as a child, they will absorb that in their subconscious mind, thinking they're fucking weak or whatever. But an adult that's already like developed themselves to a certain extent, he should be able to withhold those type of criticism without being without crumbling. And if he crumbles, he will crumble not just because of you, he'll crumble because there's a fucking red light when he wants it to be green. So he'll fucking crumble regardless. So like fuck him. But like,
Yeah.
they're like, it's just a consistent battle within. Hey, bro, like.
That's all it is.
When it comes to criticism too,
it is.
As like you said, as developed adults develop being,
Yeah.
I use that term loosely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as developed adults, really, if I'm throwing criticism at you and even myself, right? If I say, yo, you're being a bitch right now, it should go without saying. I'm only saying that implying that
you could do
you're
more.
better than that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you can be better than that.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're being a fucking bitch right now. This is no time to be like, no, it's okay. This is fine. Just keep doing that. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
You're being a fucking little hoe right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people see it and you look like a bitch too.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
like looking like a bitch. So
100%.
let's fix this.
Go ahead.
No, you go. Mine's a long story.
Yeah. Well, it goes. You said it earlier. There's two of you in there and shit. And that whole fucking like there is two of you. the power of now and shit. I've talked about that all the time and shit. But that fool. What's his Exsr?
Torling.
That's how it happened and shit. He realized like there was a moment where he's like, oh fuck, like who am I telling this to? Who's taking this in?
The
and
I or
who's
the me?
actually, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like who's actually saying it and who's taking it in? And that shit just kind of shifted back and forth to the point where like it just broke him. You get me? Like that's when he had the whole episode and all that. He woke up and it was a whole different person and shit, But it honestly feel like I'm not saying I've gone to that point, but I could see. Last episode we talked about that, driving yourself crazy. That is that. You know what I'm saying? Like just it if you were to drive yourself crazy, it'd be the I and the me.
I think I drove myself crazy once.
Yeah.
I really do. I drove for hours in my car because I couldn't be home. I couldn't be still.
Drove?
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I got in deep thought and I was trying to do a practice of something, and then I was trying to do it and I was trying to like dissect my thought pattern. And it was cool for an extent, and I started getting really bad anxiety because I was like, my whole point is like, while I'm thinking about this, I need to relax my whole body. I can't think about it in a tense thing, so I want to absorb it. So I was just like relaxing myself, thinking about it. I was like, cool. It was probably a cool like 20 minutes, and I started thinking about it too much where I started getting anxious, and I'm like, I can control my anxiety. I've done it before. So I'm like relaxing while I'm feeling this anxious, but then I started getting this build up and I'm like, oh damn, I'm getting a panic attack. I haven't had a panic attack in a while. Okay, cool. And then like, oh, now I'm getting a panic. I'm getting a lightheaded feeling. So I'm kind of like, I open my eyes. I'm like, I start walking around like waiting for this shit to kind of get over me, and I'm like, okay, like this is weird because I'm thinking like, a certain way, and I kind of want to get out of this thought, but now like knowing that I want to get out of this thought, I can't get out of this thought, so I'm kind of like, interesting. I get in my car and then I was in Covina, and there's like some canyon, Azusa Canyons, and which is like a mountain, so I just start driving down the mountain, like literally like just driving, bro, just viewing, and I'm just like, like every time I would stop in a little cut, I'd be like, I still fucking anxious, like in this thought still in my like so, but like I had to like my whole thing was I had to conquer this thought, and like so I literally had to conquer this thought. I sat down and I was like, I have to conquer this thought. I hit the peak, and when I'm explaining it very vaguely, but I was kind of like tripping, bro. I was like, like I don't want like I'm over this, and then that feeling of lightheadedness and your heart beating and you feel like you're cold and you're hot at the same time, and like I got that feeling and it reached its peak and then fucking it went away, and I was so calm after I was so calm fucking, and I feel like I just allowed myself to like I feel like I was wrestling with the thought until I let it hit me, and that shit was crazy. I
don't think I've ever told this to anyone. I have one or two people, but it's something that it stuck with me for life, and I'm never gonna forget that. And it was a large episode. I wouldn't say it was anxiety, but I think it was something in my head that got like it was weakness. I want to say it was weakness, but I guess I was chopping it up with a homeboy at work. I must have been about 18 or whatever. And this fool starts telling me about certain, like, I don't remember if it was like Satanism. I don't remember what it was specifically, but he would tell me stories about him, fucking going to church and getting touched and feeling burnt and like, or feeling like a burning, like the way he would explain it and the shit he would say. I don't know if I took that to an extreme. I want to say that's what happened, but for about, I want to say exactly 3 days, I felt completely like in my head, but it was more of a following thing. So every time I would walk somewhere, I would drive, I would pump gas, I would cut my hair, anything. It was just a complete, like, my fucking mind wasn't anywhere else but the fact that there was something with me, you know, like there was, I don't know if that was like my head. I don't know if it was just something actually with me, or I don't know what it was, but
something evil.
I don't fucking, at first, so at that moment, I thought it was evil because of what the shit that he was saying. And I want to say I was weak. You get me?
Sure.
So I took it to an extreme, or it
You're
got
vulnerable.
to me. Vulnerable,
you.
you know? I want to say it was that. And I really haven't looked into it. I mean, or I haven't even thought about it because it made me feel extremely.
He was just talking about a certain dogma, or you were.
No, he was talking about like just I honestly don't remember what it was and shit, but it was I remember him telling me a story about him going to church because he was feeling bad. I think what I was feeling is what he was saying he was feeling, if that makes sense. And so I don't know if I took that and I was vulnerable with that, or you know, something happened and shit, but
that happens with people with anxiety, you know, CD.
Okay.
Yeah, because I hear stories from people when I talk about their torments, and I kind of start like feeling it for them, and I'm just like, yo, I need to stop.
And legit, it stuck to me, at least for that 3 days, to the point where like I wanted to fucking scream, I wanted to fucking just rip my shit off, but it was it wasn't even like, oh fuck, what's going on, like it was just like, this shit's gotta go now. Like I felt completely not me, you know, like I said, I would be cutting my hair. I remember this clearly, and this was oh, you know who it was, bro? It was with your grandma, I think. Yeah, she's the one that cuts hair, right? It was with her, bro. I was in Echo Park. This was when I was with your cousin and shit. And for those 3 days, bro, like the third day, I didn't know what help was. I didn't know any of that. I just didn't know. I knew that what was going on wasn't right. For sure. It wasn't right. And she was talking to me while cutting my hair. And that's when I noticed, like, this is completely fucked up, because she's talking to me and I'm not, like, I'm not listening. I'm more of like, there's a fucking feeling on me, and I don't know what it is. Were you Christian
at the time? Were you heavy into anything?
No, nothing. I wasn't believing anything. I wasn't anything, but it was kind of an extent to where like I can't explain it. I really can't explain it. It was just an completely whelming.
I get what you're saying. I can't. I understand.
You know,
I understand because
and enough to, like I said, I can't even bring that up. I don't think I've ever talking about. I haven't talked about it, but like I think I'm stronger enough now to realize like what it was, or
psychological
what it could have been and shit. Yeah.
I read a book. Some guy I talked to, he has like a big Instagram, but it's all like spiritual shit, occult shit. And me and him talk. He's from South Africa, and Nafu recommended a book to me called The Black Arts, because I was looking into getting information about the Kabbalah. And then Nafu recommended me a book, Black Arts. The same day I went and fucking bought it. I went home and I started reading it, and the first 2 chapters is talking about like black magic. Which I'm like, fucking black magic's like fucking like the dark side of the thing. People trying to like, and I started reading it, and they're like fucking talking about if you want to like fucking torture people, if you want to fucking like, you have to like torture an animal.
Buddhism?
Bro, it's ceremonial black magic. That's what it was. Like the whole, it's astrological. They correspond certain planets, like, so they wait for certain astrological occurrences in order for them to do rituals. So if Saturn is the energy of fire, like they correspond that to like their ritual of like whatever. So, and the rituals would be like fucking poking animals' eyes and like fucking like some weird shit, bro. And I was like, yo, why just give me this book, bro? Like, but so like I'm fucking, because I'm trying to learn about something, but I guess it still corresponds. But I was reading and I was just like, each page I was getting more uncomfortable and more uncomfortable. I was like, yo, bro, like I'm trying to get to the place where I'm trying to get to. I don't know if this is just giving me an example of like some shit, but I couldn't get past like the 3rd chapter. And then and I had that feeling of like what you're kind of describing, like, yo, like I just couldn't stop thinking about, because they had useful shit in there that I was like, oh, that's interesting as shit, and that makes sense, and I fuck with that. But like the shit they were corresponding it to was very dark, and the book was about demonology, and demonology is not how we perceive demons and shit, but it is a dark aspect of the negative charge of the whatever. But
yeah,
I had that
dark.
feeling.
Dark is definitely the word. It wasn't.
It's weird. It's a weird.
I don't
feeling.
even now. Like I said, I know where I'm at and I know what I could think of and all that shit. But looking at it, still reflecting back then, it was dark. It was definitely a dark thing. You get me? Like it wasn't a sane thing for sure. It was just really fucking in there.
If you had no belief in anything, though, you probably that shit would not have been shit to you.
It wasn't that I didn't have any belief in anything. I just didn't even realize what belief was, if that makes sense. I didn't know.
But you were raised like some type of like Christian, Catholic,
yeah,
something.
Catholic.
So you, in your subconscious mind, you have some type of. No, you do. You have to, especially if you're a little kid and you had crosses at your house and prayed. You definitely have to have some type of. Yeah, fuck yeah. I was raised Catholic. I used to talk to God every day in my life.
Same.
I don't think it was a counter to that. You're saying that it was like an opposite to that. That's
no,
why
as
it
in
affected
like
me.
Yeah, because you have like you're receiving information, but your subconscious mind, which is the blueprints, to like even if you don't know, you're subconsciously fighting this information. It is in your mind, so you're like there's mad turbulence in your head right now.
And that's how I see anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
Like how you just said it, and that wasn't an anxiety attack. Like for sure, that wasn't an anxiety attack. So the way I see it, kind of, it was because I didn't believe in anything. If that makes sense. Now I believe more in myself. How powerful the mind is. How I could control. How when I get high, I'm not fucking completely tripping. Like now, I'm more aware of how my mind works. Then I didn't believe that. Do you think
that's about you knowing how your mind works or making your mind dormant off of a substance? That's what I've been questioning about myself.
Now.
Yeah, because think about it. Like you said, now that you know, like you get high and like you know your mind. But like without that substance stimuli, do you think like do you really know yourself or do you just have something to make you dormant?
No, I think that I could be sober and completely be aware of what's going on.
When was the last time you were sober, and how long?
Probably like 3 hours.
Then how would you know?
No, I get you. I see that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's that. I think it drugs or weed or anything. I kind of feel like it affects you the way or how you are when you are sober. You get me? So when you're sober, if you're actually going through some depression, it's probably not going to hit you as well. You get me? Like, let's just say you're completely depressed and you take acid. I don't know. I've never taken acid while depressed. I'm assuming it's probably not helpful.
It doesn't actually, because when you take acid or take shrooms, your neural pathways that you're usually accustomed to using when you think of a certain thought, they become dormant, and you don't even remember that you have those neural pathways. So you could think of something that makes you totally depressed, and you'll use different neurotransmitters and neural pathways, so your mind isn't in. So, no.
This is my absolute fucking argument. Not against, but like when people
would think they're enlightened because they do shrooms or something.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Maybe that works for you, but everyone.
Nah, you're stupid if you think that.
Everyone thinks like it's gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying?
Or shrooms?
Just anything. Maybe right down to weed and shit. You know what I mean? I'm in tune with myself enough to know.
Have you done shrooms?
I've done. No, I've not done shrooms. I've done acid. I just did acid.
I don't like acid.
But what are you doing? What are you doing?
My homegirl broke down acid to me recently. My homegirl broke down acid to me recently, and why not to ever do it? There's like a ep.2 something gland in shrooms, like you have like an opening and a gap that opens up and takes the psilocybin. In acid, it remains open the whole trip.
So just like a rush. Yeah.
And it fucks with your brain chemistry bad. Like
from
and
now
this is
on.
from a girl who's like into psychedelics and all this shit, and she like researches all this shit, like fucking college smart girl.
They say that there's a certain type, like people say they do acid like a shitload, but they say there's a certain dosage that you can take.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, sure. I'm
That's
sure.
why I've only ever microdosed with acid, and my microdose is like the microdose. You know what I'm saying?
You never done like mushrooms to trip?
Nah.
Would you? Have you looked into the studies? It's trippy, and
I've definitely.
and the
looked
how
into
the
studies.
molecule compound mimics serotonin by it's off by just one branch.
Yeah.
And the reason I vouch for this shit hella, bro, because the first time I ever shroomed in my fucking life, I remember not having anxiety first, and I have constant social anxiety and everything.
Same.
I remember not having it for like fucking a long time after and thinking weirdly of it until I remember Fox News posted some shit about how it treats anxiety or whatever, and that's where I was like, yo, I remember I called some guy Nick, that fool I tripped with, and I was like, bro, I fucking told you, bro, like fucking Fox, I didn't have anxiety, because I remember I went to Islands the next day, fool, had a fucking great experience at Islands, talked to the waiter, fucking
like a normal person.
Fool, I
shit.
was normal. I was tripping, and I was
that.
so tripping. Like I was like, yo, I have no fuck. I called my mom. I was having full conversations with people. I was like, what the fuck? And then when Fox posted that study, my mind was blown. I remember calling his name's Nick. This fool grows weed and shit. I call him. I'm like, bro, like, remember I told you I haven't fucking felt anxiety since the fucking shroom trip, bro. The fucking Fox posted this study, blah. After that, I was like fucking going into it. I haven't had the balls to do shrooms in probably like almost 2 years. But I need to do it again.
Yeah.
I need to do it. It's not even a need. It's just like it's a fucking cleanse, dog.
It's a detox. That's how I see it.
It's a fucking smack in the face to let you know, like, bro, like, you think you know. Bro, it's the perfect cure for arrogance. And I feel like I need that right now, bro. I feel like I'm at my most arrogant
ego
stage.
death.
Yeah.
I'm definitely down with that. In terms of acid, I've heard several people, like reputable people, say like and it's almost laughable, right? But it probably says more about me than anything. Like they say, yeah, I don't recommend you do large doses of acid unless everything in your life is like in order.
That's
like,
how
what the
I feel,
fuck?
yes.
Who has everything in their life in order? What the? Who are these people you're talking
You gotta
about?
do it when
You know what
you're
I'm saying?
fucked, when you feel at your, well, at least shrooms. When you're at your lowest.
And I think that's
when
the
you
difference
feel
between
like
shrooms
shit.
and acid.
Nah, bro, step in and fucking fucking let that shit tumble you for a little bit, bro. And you're gonna come out and you're gonna fucking make the calls
detox.
to people who matter.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk to the people who matter. You're gonna realize what matters, what doesn't fucking matter, what's like that shit puts you in check, bro. I've only tripped hard 4 times. And every time, I've microdosed, yeah. I'm like 3 times. I try to do it like 2 days in a row, and I probably did one by myself. Really? Yeah.
It's just for some reason, like right now, I'm me. I felt like an awoke in me. Like I know.
Yeah.
It gives you an energy, 100%.
Gives you a whole different perspective of what you're fucking seeing, dude.
Yeah.
Your emotions.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
heightened to some.
Kickboxers be doing it.
Yeah.
Kickboxers be hella doing it. I know a lot of people not I know a lot of people, but I know that people.
You know of a lot
Yeah.
of people, yeah.
My I don't want dude, I'm just telling you, bro, like that shit.
It's definitely
that
on
shit's
my
real.
agenda for sure.
You gotta be fool. You gotta fucking just you gotta do it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And I need to.
Yeah,
I'm telling
I
you
wanna do
because
it,
I'm
shit.
telling
I'm
myself
scared,
this.
though.
I need to
Sure.
do it again.
Sure.
I'm scared again. It's a cleanse, bro.
I'm a little bitch about
Me
shit
too.
like that.
Me
You know what I'm
too.
saying? Like,
I'm
Bro,
scared
I
to do
don't
it
even
again.
smoke weed, son. Yeah.
It's easier than
I
weed.
get you, yeah.
I've heard that.
It's
actually.
easier than
I've
weed.
heard it's easier than weed.
Cause I get every time I smoke weed I get anxious.
Yeah.
At least one time every hit. At least I get anxious every time.
do
At
all
least
the
one
time.
every hit.
I mean,
With
you don't get that from
shrooms,
shrooms.
when I only get anxiety once I swallow it, and it's not
It's
even the
that initial,
shrooms.
like,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
they're like
it's
there's
that
no
shit,
going
like,
back.
No
There's no
turning
go-
back.
yeah.
Exactly.
Do
And
I?
then-
Do I? Like,
But once I start
Should I
feeling
go
the
shit this shit
shrooms,
out right now or what?
once I start feeling the shrooms, I usually feel it in my hands first, and I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling it. And once I start feeling it, it's just like anxiety is not there no more. And then if it does come within the trip, it's a different anxiety from when I'm sober. It's like an anxiety is like, oh, and then like it kind of goes away right away, and then it gets you into another state. Like it's fucking weird,
I don't
bro.
know. I really do think that it has to do with your state of mind at that point.
But
you know
the thing
like
is,
you have to be relaxed. You have to be with a nice group of people.
No,
if you're like,
you got to do it in your worst times.
I don't
that
know.
shit cleanses you. You don't want to.
Personally,
there's
me.
There's no need. There's no
fucked.
But
in my head, sober, I'm fucked.
There's no need.
Trust me.
There's no need.
Like,
there's no need to cleanse if you're already at peace. Like that
I'm not
shit
at
is a
peace, though,
cleanse. Like that's what I'm saying. So like that shit needs to be used to smack you in the face. Like, hey, bro, like this is why you're tripping. Because a lot of times we're tripping. Why are we so tense? Why are we so anxious? Why are we so depressed? Why are we this? And we don't even know why we are that.
No, I see.
Yet, like when some shit comes, smacks you in the face with some insight, and you start thinking about people you want to call after this trip or like things like that. You start putting shit into perspective. Like, oh damn, like. I thought this didn't bug me, but it's actually bugging me.
Yeah, I
should fucking handle this shit. Or I've been holding my fucking tongue from saying this shit from somebody, knowing that it will bring me great release from telling somebody, yo, you're annoying, or stop doing that, please. Yeah. But we hold our tongues and we build up this little anxiety or something, this little weird energy within us, and then that fucks us, like that shit really fucks us. Holding our tongue and not wanting to say shit when you want to say shit, that shit fucks you. That shit fucks you. I speak from experience because I hold my tongue hell sometimes, and I'm just like, yo, I need just DMT, dimethyltryptamine. Okay, so the pineal gland in the lungs, they contain a certain chemical called dimethyltryptamine. The pineal gland. Oh, they're both dying, but we're getting footage from either angle. Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, so I'm going back and forth at this point.
Yeah,
cool.
We should just fucking end it right now.
Let's end it. Okay. I took shrooms once, and then fucking, I remember I was driving, that fool Guru Doug, you know who Guru Doug is? I ate shrooms at his house, and then fucking, like, my dumb ass was buzzed, so, like, I left right after I took it, because I started feeling anxious. I'm like, yo, I don't want to shroom and trip in front of everybody here, so I'm like, I'm gonna leave. So I started driving, and I ended up kicking at some girl's house, and I started tripping, and while I'm tripping, this bitch is trying to seduce me to fuck, so I ended up fucking, and then, like, I'm standing, hold on, I'm standing, and I'm fucking, like, doggy style, I'm standing up, right? I nut on shrooms. My knees went weak. I fucking fell. I swear to God, I tripped out. I was fucking her in the back of a fucking. No, because she lived in a certain area, and right next there was like a storage center, and in the back is like a storage compartments, and she was in the back. We went to the back parking lot, and I was fucking her. Like I opened my door and had her bend over inside of my car, and I was fucking her, and then like literally when I busted my nut, my knees just like fell.
Just gave out.
Christ!
I just fell. My knees went down.
You going on adventures?
And I was like, oh shit! Like I was like, yo, I'm like,
That's way too elaborate for me, son.
It was scary. My knees, like literally, my knees went down.
I could see that completely taking over your head too, your mind, like just like fuck this pussy, like why are my legs?
I didn't nut in her, but I busted out and like my fucking knees.
How old were you? That sounds like a young man scenario. Yo, render me useless nowadays.
Like 4 years ago. That's never happened to me in my life.
Yo.
On shrooms though, I guess fucking on shrooms you fucking feel some crazy energy. Nah, that shit was crazy. I remember that shit. I was tripping.
Nah, I feel you. I don't, but
the shit was crazy. That was a strong ass orgasm.
We should wrap this up.
All right.
They made that bong.
Wrap it up, Zooks.
Wrap it up, Zooks. All right. This has been the 40 hour. Thank you all for being here. If you do us a favor and subscribe on your preferred podcast platform. Why can't I say podcast platform? I say this shit like daily.
Yeah.
So, you're about to explain why. Subscribe on your preferred podcast platform, starting with the one you're currently listening to this on. That's a good starting point. Do us an extra favor and leave some feedback on iTunes. Some nice words, a kind review would help in the ratings, the standings. It'd help us get more discoverable and whatnot. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Shout out Alistair Crowley.
The name of which we apparently don't know. Right? Have we figured that part out yet?
Name for the what?
The YouTube, what is YouTube?
It's gonna be the 40-hour podcast.
I don't know, but I know what the
Just
name of this episode
go to
is.
YouTube. Everyone knows how to get to YouTube and search the 40 hour.
Yeah,
and you'll probably find it. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and leave comments on YouTube and shit, so we know what to talk about.
Likes and all that shit. Oh yeah. Let us know what you want to talk
topics
about.
And shit.
Yeah, this worked out well this time. Shout out everyone who sent feedback and all that. Follow us all on social media at GVDZOOKS. That's me at selfprovoked818 at st.exsr. And collectively, what? At Playmkrs?
Yes, sir.
MKRS?
MKRS. MKRS Co.
All right, word. Yo, with all that information I just gave you, if you can't figure it out, go fuck yourself. You don't deserve to follow us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right. That's been the 40 hour. Much love. Go fuck yourself.